Alrighty. Hello.
Hello?
Hey, one second. Let me just say quick tweet thing. We're live, by the way.
Okay. Hello, chat.
Ah, man, I gotta prepare these things. Ugh. The whole being a content creator, manager, what's it called? Social media manager. They actually do important work. Holy cow. Okay. Good to go. All right. Did you, can you send me over the notes that you got on the builder lesson?
Yeah. Um, did you get it?
Here, hold on a second. Where'd you send it?
I didn't know on the DMs. I didn't know on the fundamental gameplay either if you wanted to like specify more on that because it seems like a lot, but
Oh, it's
I'm not
so much,
sure.
yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So basically, well, let's just open up a lesson document and then I'll get you going. Hold
Okay.
on. Okay. I'm probably not even sharing my screen yet. Let's do that. So this should just be this application. Let's go to Drive. Lessons. So when you say you want to work on fundamental gameplay and how to practice, what do you mean by
Yeah.
fundamental? What pieces of the fundamental gameplay?
So I think in general, like on here um probably game planning, uh then damage trading and resource management, I really don't understand that a lot, so or what understand what that's going over, so it's
Okay.
probably good to go over if I don't understand it. So and then positioning too, but I mean I mainly game planning and then damage trading resource management
Okay.
and then positioning if there's time.
So based off of what you're trying to work on, this is one of the few rare cases where I think it's good to have you just fire something up and then talk through some games.
Okay.
So if you want to hop into Showdown or something, that'd be great.
Yeah. Can you see my screen?
Let me see. Yep, I can. Just shoot me an invite
Okay.
on actual Showdown though. Hold on. Let's.
Okay.
My name is Azazel the God. Just click invite room when you open it up. So go fire up a game. You could do like a best of one. I think is probably better.
Okay. My best of one rating's like not very good, but I don't actually know what a good rating is on Showdown. So
Oh,
okay. So
noise,
then
sound. Ah, my ears.
yeah, just
Okay,
mute sounds.
and then just slash invite
Um,
Azazel the God.
space.
Yes, there's a space.
There
There
you
it
go.
is. Coming. All right, so I got
That work? All right. Awesome.
we got a visual. This is a pretty standard team. So where, as far as game planning is concerned, there's different elements of how you're going to get through your opponent. You're looking to kind of get through your opening, mid game, end game. That's kind of the different stages that I have it. There's also like you can have like set play for openings, so you can have like your brings and your leads set for certain matchups. But in regulation MB, your actual brings really depend on kind of habits. Like there's just so much lead roulette where like if look they can do Zard or Staraptor. Like the different dual mega teams are like pretty much 90% of common now. So Here, you want to deal with all the threats that you can. And there's a bunch of different ways of going about this. Let's say, like in this matchup, right? Starting with your game plan, I'm thinking that they're going to do Zard, Whims into you, but they probably, like, there's danger in them going for Raptor into your guard mode. So they might not actually lead out with Raptor, but it's really good into the rest of your team other than the guard. So they might just try to get through your guard. I think Whims Bask is probably how they would try to do that. And then Raptor in the end game, they probably have like some charm set up, and then Chomp. But they could also do Zard. It depends on like what you would normally expect when you face teams like this. This is a little bit of an uncommon one. You don't see Raptor and Zard together as a pairing too much. And then the Cine is just completely out of place. I wouldn't even be worried about it. So in your end, I would probably throw Aerodactyl or Farigiraf Gardevoir out there, and then counter maybe with T-Tar, Bask in the end game, or Farigiraf.
Yeah, this is a typical lead I do. Intimidate out.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And I'm assuming you're like Sash Arrow.
It's a wide lens. I know it's probably not the greatest, but
no,
it's fun. I don't know.
The good thing here is that they can't. First off, it's awesome that you trace to Intimidate, so they can't charm themselves and kind of end you. But you have Tailwind option. I think Tailwind is probably fine here. You can get Tailwind off and go for a Hyper Voice, right?
Yeah.
You kind of have to keep up. Oh, they have U-turn. That's interesting. Okay. I hope they're going into Bask. Please go into Bask or Chomp. Just give us the Chomp for free. We're not going to spend too much time doing these games, but it's mostly about...
yeah.
Oh, thank you. They listen to me.
I was going to say, really, no matter what they go into, it should be okay.
I was going to say, what's even better is that they don't have... that the Chomp lived. Technically, you can swap Guard out here into Fari. Did you have Fari T-Tar in the back? Or Fari Bask?
No, I have Bask T-Tar.
Okay.
Probably
you have Protect on the Aerodactyl or no?
Yeah, I do.
You can Protect. You can surprise them with that.
Yeah.
Protect is probably a pretty strong play because they're going to Encore. There's like a lot of... Oh! Is it Life Orb?
Okay.
Poison Gem? Wow. That's Adamant Scarf? What the heck? How did that KO? You have no bulk?
I don't have a lot of physical, I don't think.
Okay. Well, technically, I think you can go Bask here. I think Bask is probably a more potent option.
Then probably Aqua Jet into Chomp.
I think Aqua Jet into Chomp is fine. You may want to also swap T-Tar in for Aerodactyl to get away from the Encore pressure. I can't believe that you got close sheeted by Poison Jab. But I'm also shocked that it KO'd you. Okay.
Okay.
So this is what I mean, by the way, when I'm talking about damage trading. Right now, there's technically a threat of the Whimsicott going for like a charm strategy on itself, and then they could Brave Bird your Basculegion. They could also close combat you. So something that you can do is you can like go for a Last Respect here and a Rock Slide, because you can call that what they're going. Instead of having to go for the read, you can say, I'm just going to try and effectively trade to the situation instead of having to play the 50-50.
Okay.
So, yes, they get this Last Respects off, but you're going to get a Last Respects... Sorry, you're going to get your Last Respects off, and you can't... See, basically, like, okay, you can make the read, but if they Brave Bird you, that's... It's terrible. It's like maybe the worst thing that can happen there. And now, they do have Charm, right? But I think even with Charm, you've done pretty much all the damage that you need to. So you can go, like, Dual Wing Beat into the Whims, and probably Last Respects into the Cine. Still, because their best ideal play is to go for something like a Charm into your Basculegion here, but you probably will still KO Sinistra, and they also might just make a mistake and go for the Tailwind. They need a Machagacha. Oh my god, thank goodness you have bulk. Okay, And now you have pressure with your Aqua Jet. You can tailwind yourself, and you'll be able to win against the Garchomp. But it looks like they were actually Adamant Scarf, which is what I thought. All right, very fast paced, right? You have very little time to work with.
Yeah.
So basically, the skills in Pokemon are mostly around making the best decisions that you can in small little windows. So if you want to hop back to my screen, I'm gonna go through some of these turns.
Okay.
Let me know if you're watching.
Yeah, I'm on.
Okay, so the first thing, right here, if you've played any best of one closed sheet ladder and champions, you've definitely played a Wims Staraptor Charm strategy, right?
Yeah.
Okay. That's the type of thing you got to sniff out because it's kind of like I refer to that strategy as like ramping Staraptor with Charm, and like it's not like a true ramp, but ramp in like card games is like, once you get going, you win, but it's hard to get going. So like you have a bunch of tools that you're presenting here that deal with this Staraptor. And the reason that we click Tailwind and Hyper Voice at the same time is, sure, the Whimsicott should be able to go for Tailwind, and the Staraptor could Mega Evolve and take out your Gardevoir. But you should have enough like natural bulk on Gardevoir to survive just the Brave Bird. And if you get the Tailwind off, basically, let's say they try to do the Charm first, you'll be, you'll go for the Tailwind first because you'll be faster than the Staraptor with Aerodactyl. So this is kind of like a small little speed sandwich where they're basically forced to click Prankster Tailwind here. The best thing that they really could have done is protected the Staraptor, but nobody's doing that. Not at this level especially. And even if they did protect the Staraptor, you would then be able to dual wing beat the Whimsicott and technically protect Gardevoir. You'd also have options further down the line. It'd be a little bit risky. That's why I asked about the Farigiraf, because bringing the Farigiraf in the back over like the Tyranitar, you would have been able to block Encore pressure into something like your Aerodactyl.
Yeah.
And then there was also potentially the issue of forcing them to go for Encore there. If they go for the Charm anyway, and then they just start taking out your Gardevoir, like it's bad. I think also after close combat, they might live. They're probably gonna live the Hyper Voice anyway, but they would take like way less damage. And so ideally, when you're in these situations, this is a little bit fast paced, but this is a kind of a frustrating lead to face. And if you don't have the tools to effectively get through it, basically if all of your pieces can get knocked out by +2, Brave Bird, close combat, whatever, you don't have a way on your team to slow it down. And you have nothing that technically survives that. So you have to trade your way out of these types of situations. And this is kind of one of the best ways that you can do it is with your Gardevoir. The other way that you could technically do it is you can use something like Aerodactyl, go for the Tailwind, force them to target down your Aerodactyl to prevent the speed control. And then instead of Tailwinding, you swap into, you draw attention to your Trick Room, your Tailwind setter, and then you go for Trick Room. I don't know if your Gardevoir has Trick Room. I'm assuming it does.
It does. Yeah.
Exactly that. And then these are the situations that are like worth EVing for. So it's like, okay, in order for this to work into a Charm Staraptor strategy, this is kind of how this is what I need the bulk to survive, etc. You can give yourself a little wiggle room. Maybe it's an 80% roll to die to the, a 20% roll to die to the Staraptor Brave Bird at +1. But immediately I'm looking at these tools in your team and I'm thinking this is actually something that sticks out as like you could just get like run over. And this is actually a pretty good case for why you might want to have Focus Sash on Aerodactyl. Because then you can always guarantee that you're going to get that Tailwind up.
Yeah.
Make sense?
Yeah. I mean, it's really with that, and I also, if things like Aqua Jet Basculegion or like Scarf Basculegion are very scary into the arrow.
Yes, of course. That's another case.
Without Sash.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Excadrill too is another one. And then like if there's ever like Swampert.
Excadrills are pretty. Most stand with Excadrill is a bad matchup for me with this team.
Yeah, I would definitely
because
argue that.
it's great to guard, it's great to arrow. Yeah,
The good news though is like you could probably get so that actually kind of opens up kind of some other talking points here, which is like you could add help into Excadrill, things like Excadrill and other weathers. Just having a little bit more priority. Like Sneasler probably is really good over the Tyranitar. A lot of people run Arrow, Sneasler, Basque. And then even though if it's not like the most useful Pokemon in Trick Room, it'll also kind of help cover your Basculegion for when you don't want to use Fari to block Sucker Punch against King Gambit. You don't have Prankster Tailwind,
yeah.
so using Sneasler to
It's
also just cover Basque is really nice.
yeah. I have Colberberry Basque too, so it's a little good into Sucker Punch at least.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll get through one, but it's not. Yeah.
Okay. So
Um.
fundamentally though, like the core gameplay elements that you're focusing on where positioning is concerned are making sure that like it's kind of almost unintuitive. You're playing to not have to make reads. You can make reads, all the reads you want in the world, but it's better to not have to make them, in my opinion, and to have, and you're
Yeah.
kind of like building layers of contingencies. So this is a little bit more of an aggressive team. Truthfully, the more aggressive teams that you have less answers to, you're gonna just naturally have less contingency planning for. A good example in the meta right now is like Blastoise setup. A lot of people will just go for the Shell Smash, and if you don't have a well-constructed team, you don't have a way around Sinistra. Like right now, I'm looking at it actually. On your team, without Sash, they can click Fake Out. You would have to lead for Regiroth, which is still just going to get kind of, nuked by the Blastoise at some point.
Yeah.
They can go Incin, Blastoise, and you don't really have much to answer that. Sinistra will come in the back. It'll keep itself alive. And then once the Farigiraf is gone, they can just keep parting shotting, keeping their health up with Cine. You want to have like a lot more proactive answers into some of the more threatening offensive modes right away. Because like the way that Blastoise works right now, it's one of the Pokemon that like once it gets that Shell Smash off in like the right spot, your entire team gets destroyed. Like you can't catch it.
Yeah.
It just completely runs away with the game. And like early game leading and positioning is mostly about like, all right, don't let this Blastoise like make the Shell Smash cost something. Now, obviously, again, you have Farigiraf, but that doesn't automatically protect you. They probably have ways of getting through Farigiraf.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't. I play a lot of. Play a lot of ladder on cart at least. It's I'm going to my first local on Saturday. So
That's awesome.
and then hopefully going to NAIC, but that's way in the future, so just want to kind of get ready for the local, see if I can keep up. I've done like short online tournaments before, but I haven't done super well in them.
Mm-hmm.
Like the best I ever did was Top Cut, like Top Cut like some Italian tournament because it was the middle of the day in the U.S. It was like okay, but yeah, I started out. I just started playing VGC right before Champions came out. I knew it was coming out, so I was like, okay, I'll play some. I don't know what regulation it was in Scarlet and Violet, but I played some of that. I just got one of the like default teams on from like the VGC like chat room on Showdown. I think it was like Spam, basically.
There you go.
That's a little of what inspired this team, I guess. I didn't make this myself entirely. I got it from a video that was like manual terrain for Rigorath, and then I've basically added a bunch to it, so it's not the same team anymore. I mean, I don't even think Arrow was on it. I just recently added T-Tar and Garchomp. It was originally this Garchomp I changed like yesterday from Hydreigon.
Mhm.
Just because I never brought it. And then this T-Tar was a it was a Glamora, and then it was a Megazard Y,
Mhm.
and then Tyranitar, because this team isn't great into King Gambit. At least when I play King Gambit, it's not very good into it. So
Okay.
I added that kind of for low kick. And then Garchomp was also for King Gambit, and also Sneasler.
Okay.
Uh, do a little bit more damage into it. But yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm glad. It's good to hear that you're like experimenting with the team building thing. I think at the level that you're at, like while you're just getting into it, uh, it's good to experiment with teams that already exist because it'll give you kind of like a lot more of a rigid structure to work off of. So you're going to. It's fine to build your own teams. I think that everybody should. I actually always encourage people to build their own stuff, but it takes a long time to get good at team building, in my opinion. There's like very rare few that end up just being like, really organically talented at it. Sometimes I think it's also luck. Um, and truthfully, like you're early, right? So like you just started playing technically in one of the later Scarlet and Violet. I'm guessing that's Regulation F before they went back to Reg I. You know, Fluttermane, Iron Crown, Tornadus, etc.
Yeah.
That metagame is a great like learning tool for like how to kind of like play a lot, but that also involved Terra. And this metagame is a lot more about like kind of leading correctly and trading damage like optimally and making sure that you have the right position. You're swinging in the right spots, even if you think that you're going to go down. Like you're forcing your opponent to like take damage for trying to do damage to you. That's kind of what the concept of trading really is. I can't reduce it too far down to a word, but the main thing that came up in this game was literally when the Staraptor came back in here. This is what I mean when I say damage trading. If the Staraptor is going to go for a Brave Bird into your Basculegion, it's going to knock it out. You're dead. Neither of these guys outspeed Staraptor. If your Tyranitar is Focus Sash, sure, you can pull that off as a surprise. But if they close combat into your Tyranitar, you're going down, and then there's a attack boost. But the Basculegion isn't getting charmed, right? The charm is the play that we're kind of working around here. And honestly, I think even if they charmed you and then they close combated here in Tyranitar, it's probably one of the better plays. With Sandchip and the Last Respects at the boosted power, I think it would have been in range of an Aqua Jet. So when I advised, hey, go for Rock Slide and Last Respects, it's like, all right, the Chomp is basically already in the range that you need it to be. Get the Last Respects off. You did get it off. The Aerodactyl went for dual Wing Beat. In hindsight, the Sinistcha having Shadow Ball is something that I probably should have prepped for. I assumed that it had Matcha Gotcha. You could have gotten dual Wing Beat, Last Respects, because if you get Encored, it doesn't really matter at this point in the game. As long as you take the Sinistcha out first, in my opinion. And then you would have gone first, you wouldn't have taken that Shadow Ball, and then you would have been in range to Aqua Jet the Garchomp. You would have Tailwind up. They can't Encore you both at the same time, so you can go Rock Slide and Aqua Jet. But you have to kind of like visualize each step of this, because that should dictate the play that you make right here. And technically it starts here. If you protect one of these and get it wrong, you lose the game. But there was a safer route through. If they Brave Birded your Basculegion, they would take Brave Bird Recoil, Sandchip, and then the Rock Slide should theoretically get through the Staraptor because they're not boosting their special defense and defense with the close combat. You'd also get through the Whimsicott, which is a pretty big deal. And in the back, you had Aerodactyl. If you Rock Slide, you take out Whimsicott and Staraptor. Cindy would come in, no problem. Not really the biggest deal. It also, I don't even think it was Hospitality, was it? Hold on.
It was, I think. Yeah, it healed him. Yeah.
So if you lose your Basque, it's not the end of the world because you still have something in the back that's faster than the Garchomp. Now, if it was Scarf Rock Slide, it's okay. Your Basque would go down here. Your T-Tar would still have a way through the Sinistra. Aerodactyl comes in. You would live the attack if they earthquaked or rock or stomping tantrumed into your T-Tar and they were Scarf. If they weren't Scarf, you would have Tailwind, and then you can go for a Rock Slide, Tailwind knock off into the Sinistra, and then you'll be faster, and then you can go for Rock Slide with Aerodactyl. It's really difficult at times to like visualize all of this out, but when you ask the question of how do you practice, how do you get good at practicing, you need to be able to see all of these things, and you need to be able to kind of like, I call it extrapolating, but you can just like kind of comb through, pick through the different branches of opportunities and sequences that can happen in each board from each game state. Getting a feel for that and understanding it, it's harder to do it in closed team sheet because things happen that you didn't consider, and you can completely calculate an end game which I literally just almost did that. I didn't factor in Shadow Ball, and I was like, oh my god, Bastia Legion, please hang on, and thankfully it did. But like, I didn't account for Life Orb Sinistra. If it was Life Orb Sinistra, it would have killed you, or Spell Tag, it would have killed you, or Sash Max Modest Sinistra, it would have killed you. So there's a bunch of like kind of educated guesses that I'm making. I should have maybe considered that because it's on a Tailwind team, but I just assumed like, oh, they want a defensive piece to keep their Staraptor alive. The other thing that I guess they could have done is they could have Strength Sapped, and then the Basque Legion maybe would have been in a bad spot. Charm Strength Sap also maybe completely ruins all plans there, but you can't cover like everything in closed team sheet. I feel like sometimes you just have to rule a bunch of stuff out, which makes it good practice for kind of extrapolating and considering more options, but it also is sometimes less fruitful practice because you just have to chalk it up to being like, all right, well, I'm not considering that next time, you know. You can't factor in Shadow Ball Sinistra every time. Maybe Shadow Ball is the one thing that you could probably get away with saying, all right, maybe it's going to be Shadow Ball. Kasib was something that I was maybe worried, but they needed to click Tailwind. I thought you would still probably break it, even if it was Kasib.
Yeah.
So it's a lot.
Which one's Kasib, Barry?
Kasib's the one that has ghost type moves.
Okay.
But then do you want to fire up a best of three? And maybe we'll go through some of that. When you know all the moves, I can kind of just ask questions and see where your like planning is at. Like long-term planning is going to take a while to get good at, but I think that's something that's much easier to work on than just getting good at team building. I still feel like I'm bad at team building, even though I'm maybe objectively not.
So
this is Big Six. What's your Big Six plan? What do you typically do into it?
Usually just guard Aerodactyl. This is my plan into a lot of it's usually guard Aerodactyl with either Farig or one of these in the back, and then Basque Legion. Well, yeah, obviously. Usually Basque Legion, and then either Garchomp or Tyranitar, definitely for King Gambit.
Okay.
Probably, in this case, T-Tar.
So, now this is best of three. There's two things that I want you to be concerned with here. One, late game Floette, and two, late game Basque.
Okay.
Also, you're Colbur and... Okay, you don't have any natural speed other than the arrow. You can get a Trick Room off, but you don't have a way to stop the Basque Legion from just deleting you. Which is a problem.
That's kind of where the Farig should have came in, at least, because I'm just going to switch into Basque to avoid.
Okay.
That's still a lot.
A bit of a coin flip, but you got it right.
So from here, this can easily get Last Respects. Actually, I'll probably look at the team sheet a little bit. So probably Hyper Voice Last Respects into Basque
Okay.
is a yeah, because you'll get damage onto everything, and if they go Last Respects here, Wave Crash here, then Last Respects is fine.
Okay.
We'll see how it goes. Okay.
Nice.
Yep.
They're going to take themselves
And
out
then I
pretty
get the
quickly.
Basque. Oh.
Then I'm assuming you
Yeah.
said you had Ferdinand in the back, right?
I wanted that's I said that's where I should have brought it.
Do you have
It's
T-Tar
T-Tar
instead?
Arrow in the back.
Okay.
I forget you can't see it.
It's okay. Okay. Here's a King Gambit.
So I'm still gonna die to Sucker Punch with Colbert Berry, I think.
Probably.
Do I just Arrow's not gonna die unless I get Iron Headed. So Tailwind, and then if Basque dies, I can protect T-Tar next turn and get out of their Tailwind and be in mine. So probably, I think Aqua Jet, King Gambit just to get damage on it and avoid Sucker Punch, maybe. Yeah, we'll do that. Why did it do that?
They may have timed out.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So
Okay. Now you technically have Aqua Jet and Low Kick as an option.
yeah. How much does that do? Yeah, it's not taking it out. So it has Chopel, so probably should.
It's going to be a roll.
I still don't know if it'll kill. And you still die. Crit. Crazy. Alright.
Sweet. Now you still lose the
Okay,
Floette.
Floette. Yeah.
Unless you dodge the Light of Ruin. Oh. Now it's GG.
Yeah.
Big problem with this team, you don't have a Fairy Resist.
Absolutely. Yeah, I do not.
Yep.
And he left. But we'll try and ready up again.
I'm going to go look for a guard board team really quickly.
It's person one and then just left. Oh, wait, no. Here they go. Okay. So, assuming they lead something similar, T-Tar lead wouldn't hurt. And then T-Tar Arrow.
Another problem is you don't have a way to get through Chopel Gambit and guarantee a Trick Room with Furgiraf. One way around that is technically using like Colbur Berry on your Fari instead, but actually technically you can go Arrow T-Tar. Actually try that.
Yeah.
Arrow, T-Tar,
I was
Fari in the
thinking
back.
that, and then I thought about Trick Room. You said for what in the back?
I say Furge in the back, yeah.
In the yeah, okay, probably.
For Ridge and probably I want to say Basque, but
Yeah, that's just kind of my default because it
you don't
gets
have
in
a
games
Fairy
a lot.
Resist, and you don't have anything that can fight the Basque Legion early. Which is why these teams have Zard, by the way. They'll go Zard and lead Zard for a Giraffe, and then they can fight King Gambit or Basculegion on the lead because they can protect the Farigiraf from taking too much damage with Sun. This team that you're facing is the most common team in the meta.
Should I hold off on Mega or no? In case they're probably.
I wouldn't hold off on
it.
Yeah, I wouldn't hold off on it.
Yeah.
They're just going to tailwind Wave Crash or T-Tar.
Okay.
Now I hope your Basculegion is fast.
It really isn't.
Uh-oh.
I don't think Dual Wing Beat's gonna kill Wims, but okay, well that's...
Oh, you were faster than them, that's good.
Okay, it's faster than theirs.
Good, let's go. Let's go! Okay.
Alright, so...
Now you have to surprise them. I think the best way that you're going to find through this game is... Well, I don't want to get ahead of myself. You are Colbur Berry, so you don't technically have to take any crazy risks. I would probably just go for Dual Wing Beat Wave Crash or Rock Slide Wave Crash, but why do they keep doing that? Is that their first move? No.
I don't know.
Nice. Okay, here we go. Live
and
after
then
the Colbur
probably...
Berry?
Okay. That... Okay.
It's tough.
So I think...
Now you have no way to get through the Floette. They have Moonblast always, and then you can't KO their Kingambit. Technically, I guess if you can bank on the Colbur being enough to let you survive, you could protect Basculegion and go for a Trick Room here. But
yeah.
Even then...
And then Kingambit will be first, so it'll just probably kowtow, but...
It's okay, your Farigiraf is built to tank that. Okay. So
I think best bet's probably...
You can go Last Respect into the Floette, but they might protect. And again, you're going to need to live this kowtow.
I doubt I'm living a kowtow at 60%, but we'll try it.
Can also Helping Hand Aqua Jet call to protect. But...
I don't... Well, let's see if that does it.
Oh!
It does.
It did.
Okay.
That's kind of a forced error on there.
Yeah, I died.
No, you have Last Respect. You win. You won.
Wait. I do?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
But that was more of a forced error. Like, the Dazzling Gleam was a mistake on there, and they should just Moonblast it. And also, in theory, they should be going for Sucker Punch there. Oh, actually, sorry, they can't because of Farigiraf. I'm an idiot. They could light up Ruin. Yeah, they should just be Moonblasting. Moonblast and Kowtow cleaving. So that was like a small error. Because they can see that you have no way to do anything. You would potentially set Psychic Terrain. Like, that's not how you're going to get through this turn.
Yeah.
Alright, here we go. Game 3.
So, T-Chart Arrow didn't do much. I won that in the end. So, do you think trying to go for the Trick Room would be, like, immediately would be good here? But then they...
You can go Garchomp for Farigiraf, maybe.
Yeah. And then...
I don't know if the Trick Room is the way that you do it, though, because Trick Room doesn't help you. It's just going to make you weak to the
because
Kingambit.
I'm faster than Baskin. Yeah, Kingambit.
Yeah.
So...
You can go Aerodactyl and Farigiraf, and you can bluff Trick Room and go for a Dual Wing Beat. into the Moonblast that they're gonna probably go
Yeah.
for.
Then probably got Arrow for Rig. Probably.
Probably.
I go Bask, T-Tar, or Gardevoir.
Probably guard.
Yeah.
Okay. So immediately this team, you have nothing for Basculegion, Floette, King Gambit. You have so little tools for all of these things, which is why team building is hard, because it's like you can't just make things that you want to use. They're going to lose to everything else. Can't make teams out of the pieces that you want to use. You are forced to use stuff to beat the common meta threats, unfortunately.
Do you think Helping Hand will wing beat the Whims? Because that'll get it out. But that'll just give it a free switch into whatever, basically. Probably Tailwind.
I think you can do a wing beat and like maybe expanding force or psychic. Yeah, the wave crash is coming through.
Yeah, okay.
They didn't fall for the bait, is the thing. They're like, I don't care.
This might be cool, though. Do I just Hyper Voice Expanding Force?
Well, now that Trick Room's up, maybe you do want to try and get a Trick Room off. Sorry, now that Psychic Terrain is up.
Yeah. Actually, yeah, I'm going to get through this with Farig, so Protect.
They're going to double you. Oh, they crit you. No, they didn't. Okay, good.
They didn't double me. Okay.
They should have doubled you, though.
So, Hyper Voice Expanding Force. They could just double Expanding Force, but...
No, I think that Hyper Voice is
King
better
Gambit
in case
switches.
King Gambit. Yep, that's the best. Absolutely.
And do I just hit the same two buttons? Or do I just Helping Hand Hyper Voice? Would that be...
I think Helping Hand Hyper Voice is a little bit better, yeah.
Because it's going to do better damage into King Gambit.
Yeah, and there's... the Mega Evolution on the Floette is hilarious to me, because they made...
Oh my gosh.
They gave you Fairy Aura.
Is that why I one-shot?
Yes. And then you win. But that is not how a game should ever go.
I was Aqua Jetted.
It's okay. You would have stalled on Psychic Terrain. Steam is very flawed. I actually sent you a different paste that's like, if you want to use Gardevoir or Basculegion, this is a little bit more useful, in my opinion.
Okay.
I wouldn't use Vacuum Wave on Gardevoir, I don't think. That's silly. Go Trick Room instead. But this team is a lot more potent. There's also a more modernized version of it with, I think it's Life Orb Basket. No, it's Mystic Water Basque or Focus Sash Jolly Basque, I forget. And the Garchomp is actually a Komao.
Oh.
But for now, you can use this if you want. Maybe I could find... Hold on. I might be able to find the other one.
Do you think I should do Stomping Tantrum instead of Earthquake on Garchomp 2?
I gotta be honest, that team is going to be very difficult for you to work with, because the team that you just played against is basically the most common team in the meta, and you don't have like half of the necessary tools that you need to keep up.
Okay, I mean like on the one you sent me.
Oh, sorry. Is there a Chomp on that? Oh, there is.
Yeah, it's Earthquake, Dragon Claw, Earthquake, Rock Slide, Protect.
The one that I'm looking for has Komao, so that isn't 100% necessary. But I can't find it. I thought I had it. I did not. Okay. There's another kind of comp that's close, but it's still not good. This is the better version, I would say, just for now. Try this out. And if you want to do Stomping Tantrum, I'm all for it. yeah.
Toxapex. Toxapex, Ensign.
Yep.
Awesome.
Give me some long-term
Okay.
plans here.
So long term is going to be avoid avoid the well. Hang on. Sorry.
It's okay.
Long term should be basically get rid of their biggest threats. So Zard, get rid of Toxapex, Sylveon, and then yeah, Venu, Life Orb Venu.
Okay.
So to do that, probably Garchomp would cover the Kanto starters, but it would get eaten by Incineroar, kind of.
Yep.
Intimidated, at least. So maybe guard Garchomp lead?
No.
Garchomp looks good into this besides Sylveon. Okay.
You need to get speed control. Chomp in the back though.
Okay.
I'll go guard
Probably
Talon.
Talonflame.
Yep.
Chomp. Probably King Gambit just to scare their Incineroar.
That doesn't. But what does it really accomplish?
Not much, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be difficult unless you don't.
Probably
unless
Basque.
you get a boost. I think Basque is better. Yeah. I think for game one, especially,
Okay.
Basque is gonna be better. Ah, you got Blaze. If only you got Intimidate.
So probably a quick guard here.
Oh, I forgot it was quick guard. Oh, you're just double protect.
Okay.
Hold on. I take that back. Long term.
Okay.
You want to be in a good spot. You want to be able to just threaten them with your Garchomp, I would say. If they're gonna
So
click
just
fake out
Tailwind.
on anything, they probably want to click fake out on your Gardevoir. I would expect. I don't even think they're gonna click fake out.
Okay. I'm gonna just Tailwind
Switch Chomp.
and yeah.
Okay.
And they're gonna time out, maybe.
Hopefully, that'd be nice. Okay. Oh, they're Ancient Power, right?
Oh.
Okay, this is fine. This is a great position for you. Now they have you go.
So then just
I would say you go guard here.
go back into guard.
Yeah.
Then Hyper Voice
And
and
Rock Slide.
Rock Slide. He's probably trying to
Citrus.
parting shot, but it's gonna die. No, it's not.
No, it's. It pulled
Yep.
it off. That's okay though. I'm guessing they're going into
Yeah.
Sylveon. Oh, Venusaur. Okay.
Venu?
Yeah. Now you have Rock Slide. What's your Gardevoir?
What'd you say?
How much speed do you have in your Gardevoir?
152.
Oh, your max modest?
Yeah, that'll beat there.
That's way too much speed, by the way.
At least according to Showdown. Yeah, that's just what it gave it. So I'm just running with it. So Psyshock. Probably Psyshock Rock Slide.
Yeah, I like that. They're gonna go in the
Okay.
Ensign, but that's okay
Yeah.
because you'll take them both. I think. Oh, okay.
Oh
They
my
barely
gosh.
survived that.
Okay, got Venu at least.
Okay, now here comes their Garchomp.
Probably they could. They don't have. So
Something that I think would actually be a really good play is
Double?
you can go Rock Slide here and Trick Room.
yeah. Please flinch.
It's okay if you don't.
Hey. Yeah, I mean, worst would have done was Earthquake, I think.
Yeah, I think
This thing doesn't
Earthquake.
have no scarf. That's why. Um, Probably Hyper Voice Rock Slide,
Yeah. No,
or should I?
I I rushed to that conclusion on that play. I think I just threw for you. I'm sorry. The
No.
we all make mistakes. I'd probably go for a double protect right here. Give myself time to think.
Yeah,
Because if they earthquake,
get out of
you
stun
don't have your
too.
own trick room. Okay, they did lock into Dragon Claw. Sweet. That's great. That means that you do get the trick room up. Sweet. What I was hoping is that they were going to go for the Dragon Claw. I didn't realize. Oh well, they could earthquake, but they didn't earthquake. Thankfully.
So should I? Chomp's gonna die to.
Yeah, you can technically just
It's
let it
like,
go down if you want.
okay, I'm
It's
just
going to
gonna Rock
be,
Slide, just in case, I guess.
and you definitely want a trick room. Please tell me you trick room.
I did.
Okay, good. There we go. It's Timid Zard.
Then
You have Hyper Voice.
yeah,
Lash
probably
Respects. So you don't take any recoil. You
Last
can
Respect Zard.
Yeah, you can Lash Respects the Zard here, but I don't even think a Dragon Claw crit would win. Oh my, wait, what? It's Timid with no speedy? Oh, you're Jolly on this team. What
And
the
I burn.
heck?
Hello.
Oh my goodness. That was like the one way you could win. And wait, what? It's Timid and it's slower than your Jolly. I hate this person. I want them to never find happiness. I hate them for that specifically.
Like, dude. Okay. So yeah.
So, look, in hindsight, technically you're supposed to throw the Last Respects into the Garchomp in the event that you don't kill the Garchomp. That's a small micro optimization. That's how you get around that Heat Wave burn. That was so stupid, though.
So probably back to Talonflame.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Then maybe Talonflame. Talonflame Chomp, maybe?
You can go Talon Chomp. The thing is that you're just going to get intimidated right away. And also, you don't want to walk into a Sylveon lead. And you don't want to get stuck on the board into Ensign Toxapex. So, like, I still think that your guard gives you a lot of pressure right away.
Okay.
I think you could probably just do the same thing. But if you want to mix it up, it's totally fine.
We'll run it back.
This also, in theory, protects you from Venusaur waltzing through you. Like, if you had gone Talon Chomp here, you're fine too. Actually, technically, I think you're a little bit better, but...
Okay, so... Probably Tailwind to begin with, and then...
Mm-hmm.
Mega Psyshock kills.
Yes. You can
I have to Mega. Only problem is that they protect, but...
They should protect, but it's okay.
Will it happen?
Yeah, no, they will.
Yep, they did.
You have to cover it, though.
Yeah, because if I don't, I just die to Sludge Bomb, so...
I crit you. That was rude.
A little bit. Now just...
I would go Flare Blitz.
Brave Bird Venu.
Flare Blitz the Venu. Or sorry, your Sharpie.
I don't have... Actually.
Yeah, Brave Bird it and maybe swap to Chomp.
Okay.
Okay, they intimidate you.
Okay.
That's okay.
And I get it on Chomp too. I did nothing.
Okay, hopefully you can go back to... I actually think Basque is better in theory, right? Is it Basque here? Or is it Guard? You're intimidated. I think Basque is better for now because you took so much damage on your guard.
Yeah. Probably then, Last Respects. into Zard, and then apparently I didn't replace Earthquake, but we're not doing that. Rock Slide.
Yeah, you can drop.
Actually,
You
that
can drop a rock slide. That's fine.
should I wave crash or flip turn Ensign? Because I feel
No,
like
can't flip turn. They're gonna take out your Gardevoir, and you're gonna need it at some
okay,
point, I think.
there they go anyway. Okay, and it missed. That's fine.
Yeah,
They flinched last game.
GG. I don't see where you're coming through this. I guess you can make a read now. You can call that they're gonna Dragon Claw your Garchomp, and swap to Gardevoir. Maybe go for a Last Respect. Because they should be swapping Charizard here into Ensign. Doesn't mean that they will, but you just don't have any way through the Venusaur in the end game.
Yeah.
Okay, they did it this way instead.
Okay.
They're
Okay.
needlessly switching around for no for whatever reason. Couldn't tell you.
So probably
No.
Last Respect's the
I would forfeit. It's over. It's definitely over.
okay.
The problem here, Zard Venu lead, super bad for the Gardevoir. I didn't know exactly how to deal with it. Chomp can be good into this because you just trade. The thing is, you just have to like kind of negatively trade it into Zard, Venu, Ensign early start. And then you end up in a Guard Basque endgame, which I think is actually a little bit better. But unfortunately, that's a little bit unfun into stuff like early Toxapex. But I shouldn't have to worry about that because the Gardevoir should scare it away. And that's kind of how like some of the team preview stuff can work. But basically, in terms of like coming up with these plans on your own, a lot of planning is about like, here's how I'm going to get through not just this turn, but the next couple of turns and cover as many options as possible. You want to try and expand to, multiple different sets of, I'm worried about the Venusaur going for the Sludge Bomb. You can call it to go for the Protect. But very often, if you're playing really well and you're covered, like you want to build plans that cover for the Venu protecting, even if you cover it. You know what I mean? Like you have to cover both the Venu protect and it not protecting. Sometimes though in bad matchups, and then when you get outled, that's where you have to kind of make calls like that. Gardevoir does have a pretty high special defense. I actually wouldn't be surprised if it lives. Sludge Bomb. Let me see. Mega Gardevoir. Sludge Bomb, Life Orb, 120. Well, you don't have any bulk, but if you're max HP,
yeah,
you guarantee.
I'm gonna keep using this team, and probably go back to the spread I was using on the old one. I didn't make it, but it's just I like it.
Yeah.
Actually, I didn't have any bulk on that one. I actually had max HP. That was it.
The other
this
version,
has 2 HP.
The other version of the team that I'm talking about, by the way, there's somebody called Thiago Latanzi. He's a really good player from Brazil, and he made a team called, I don't know what it's called actually. He made a team that's got Gardevoir on it. It's the Kommo-o version I was telling you about. I don't know if it was this one. Maybe it was earlier than this. Sorry, I'm still looking for it. It's on Victory Road.
You're good.
When was the last one? It wasn't this one. I don't know. I've still seen him running around on ladder with it, though. Literally him.
Huh.
Here's VR1. It's got to be this, right? I swear if it's not. Alright, it's not. Whatever. I'll find it and I'll send it to you. But it's just a much more modernized version. And I think that because it has the Kommo-o, it's better into Zard teams than Garchomp is, in my humble opinion. And I also think that it's nowhere to be found. I'm never going to find it. I also just think that like it it has a lot of very specific text to make it through some of the meta stuff. Like there's like a Jolly expert belt King Gambit on the team, which seems kind of weird, but it lives high horsepower from Excadrill, and then it's Jolly, so it'll outspeed a lot of Tyrantars, and they can just go Tailwind, low kick the T-Tar right away. Or they have like the vacuum wave pressure into the Excadrill. There's just a lot of tech on it, and I think that team's like a pretty good way of using the Gardevoir teams. They have a lot less role overlap. So like Garchomp and Bastion Legion are kind of similar in some senses, like in what they're trying to accomplish of how much damage they're doing. Garchomp, it's a little bit more for like anti-Zard stuff. Whereas Como, special attacker, has Overcoat, so it can't be Venusaur. Special side also hits like Archaludon, gives you a little bit of extra help into that, and then it's a lot better at getting through like Chople Berries. It's way stronger into King Gambit teams too. King Gambit in general because of its defensive typing. Worse than a Whimsicott, but you have Mousehole to protect you for that, and then you also can typically get through it with Talonflame and your own King Gambit. So I'll find that team for you. I'll send it to you.
Okay.
Do you have any questions?
Not really. Appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. Hit me up if you have any. If something comes to mind. I feel like we were combing through a lot of turns and stuff rather than talking about like super fundamental stuff. But I think we kind of got the point on some of the damage trading, and then how to establish long-term planning. It's going to be building blocks. Like you need a team that like you can really work through like the planning for.
Yeah.
So just borrow some. Try a couple of ones that are like already established out, especially after Worlds. Like you're going to get like the most crystally refined versions of teams. That's probably like the best time to be like, oh, here's the pace. Take somebody from top 8's pace, top 4, etc., and then just grind. You can also always, send me some replays and ask for feedback and stuff. I usually will get to people even if it takes me a bit. So,
okay.
All right, man. Thanks for stopping
in.
All right.
Yep. Thanks. Have a good day.
Oh, it was from the Encore. You're right. Thank you for pointing that out. Somebody give me a paste. Please. Hello.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going all right. How are you?
Doing great. I'm looking forward to talking with you.
I don't know why. I'm pretty boring.
No, it's good. Yeah, I've kind of got some conceptual type things I'd like to go over with you. I think it might be good to get the perspective of somebody who's been with the game for a while and had some success with it. I'm a pretty new player. I started with Champions, like I think a lot of people probably did.
Mm-hmm.
But I had spent a lot of time before that watching YouTube videos, even though I never played the game and was not really interested in it. Something about like watching the battles and stuff was really interesting and all the history.
Oh yeah.
And then when Champions came out, yeah, I mean it's awesome. When the game came out, it became really accessible, and I thought, okay, well, I'll start playing. And that's been good. It's been fun. I've got to Master Ball pretty quickly every season, but the problem is like I don't really have any motivation to play after I hit that because there were no like events for me to qualify for or whatever. By the time Champions came out, like the season was kind of locked down,
Mm-hmm.
But what I'm hoping is with Worlds this weekend, and then the next season starting up pretty soon after that, like to try to get in to taking the next steps, to going to more events, to getting more competitive. And I feel like there's a big step I need to take from, person who hits Master Ball and then puts the game down for 2 weeks to person who has a reasonable showing at like a regional level event.
Okay. What would be your regional event?
So I was planning to go to Baltimore, but then they added Atlanta, which is the city that I live in, and that just seemed too good to pass up. So it's in January. That's kind of my main target right now. Although I could see myself traveling to another one after that.
Yeah, there's Louisville too, like right around.
Yeah, that's not too far from me.
That one is a little bit closer in terms of time.
Right.
So, first off, Atlanta has a sick scene. Like, that's where Toller, Zach Minnick, BK, I know a bunch of the Georgia players, Bruno. They have a really good scene down there. Like, they're one of the better scenes, actually. I think they just won USPA, which is like...
see, I didn't know that at all.
Yeah, you should look at trying to get into their USPA server. I can actually give you a recommendation. And then, even if you don't make the team or anything, you'll be working with people that they're going to look for practice. They're going to have, like, junior teams and stuff. And those types of tournaments, like their team tournaments, they're community-driven. They are for getting people to, like, get more ingrained in the scene, like, more entrenched in the scene, I should say. And then you can kind of use
awesome.
resources like that to kind of prepare yourself, get ready for Atlanta. Also, in some cases, find people that are also looking for, like, roommates for, like, a hotel room, lower the cost, etc. But as for, like, the Pokemon playing part of it,
sure.
Technically, first off, you've never signed up for regional before, right?
I've never signed up for one before, and I understand that it's kind of a crazy process.
It's like a speed running, like it's a skill. It's a pain. I hate it.
Yeah, like what I know is I need to set up my Arcanine account in advance, and I need to treat it like it's a concert that's going to sell out
Yes.
as soon as it goes live.
That's a great way to describe it.
Which is a shame because I've got some buddies who have picked up champions as well, and I just have no idea how to coordinate like that lottery with a bunch of people. But I guess you just go for it.
Yeah, well, the thing is, like, basically, I'll set. I'm in a bunch of different Discord servers, even at the pro level. Like, I mean, it'll be hilarious. I'll get a ping from, like, Wolf, and it'll be like, please sign up for this tournament if you're going, because we know, like, it's a nightmare. So, like, please set us a reminder if we're busy, etc. But it's good to just, like, have some type of alarm. Like, I'll set it days in advance too. Be like 10 minutes, because you just don't realize. You'll be like, oh my god, today's the day. It's at 7:00. 10 minutes. This literally happened to me for Baltimore. I was hanging out with a friend. We were at a happy hour. We were having an amazing time, and time just, like, slipped away. And we're drinking and we're chilling, and all of a sudden it's 7:00, and I'm like, oh my god, Baltimore. And I try to get in. Nope, I'm out. And that's the closest regional to me, and I'm like, oh my god, that's the most. It's okay because I probably shouldn't be going to Baltimore, but I have, the experience there of, like, oh, I literally just missed out on it. So set an alarm.
Yeah.
Be somewhere where, like, they're going to talk about the registration. They're going to be like, guys, registration is up, etc. You want to get involved in this.
Is there ever, like, if you don't get it that first day, is there ever a way to get in? Are there ever, like,
typically 2 weeks before the event and 4 weeks before the event, they do a second and a third wave, but they're small, and you have no guarantee to know how many. They're, like, with how popular Champions has been, every single event is capped as soon as it's gone live.
Yeah, that was kind of my worry.
Yeah, there's a lot of logistical challenges right now with Pokemon, because it's not just VGC. Like, we share events with TCG and Go. Go is getting removed.
Mm-hmm.
But
Go's getting removed.
Yeah, there's no more. I think. Sorry.
I know Unite or not. Yeah, Unite was.
Unite is getting removed. Go is getting changed, but Unite is getting removed. Unite didn't take up venue space though, so it's not. Oh. It's for other reasons. But basically, the TCG, there's like 3,000 people at every tournament. So they're trying to accommodate how huge the TCG is right now. VGC is about a quarter of the size in terms of tournament attendance. Theoretically, I honestly am of the belief that we're at least half the size, if not more. But they allocate so much space to the TCG that, I don't know. That's a conspiracy. There's logistical challenges. And it is a very difficult logistical challenge because we're at the size where, like, these events are 5,000 people plus, sometimes like 8,000 people plus. And truthfully, there's not a lot of convention centers that fit that many people. So it gets it really expensive to, like, plan and, like, coordinate all these events. And they have to basically set up, all right, we're investing in this tournament. This is our projection. We're forecasting this is how many people are going to come. You could take a massive loss if you overbook space. So underbooking is unfortunately the better strategy for right now.
Yeah, it's a bummer. I think I mean that's kind of how I understand it. Is there anything else to that sign up process that I need to be aware of?
No. Make an account. You can learn a lot of this at your locals. Go to a local is one thing. So when you said you're like in the Atlanta area, are you
Yeah.
actually in Atlanta, like right in, or like outer city?
Yeah, like I'm the way Atlanta's divided up. It's like there's a perimeter highway that goes around the city, and I'm inside that perimeter, so I would consider that to be like in the city proper.
Yeah. So that area has plenty of locals. There's actually, can you see my screen?
Let me.
I think I'm sharing.
Yeah, I see it.
There's a way that you can find your events here.
Oh yeah, I've used this, and there's like a million places that popped up.
Be careful. You need to make sure that you're looking for actual VGC events. You can't
Right.
you can't show up to a TCG event and play VGC.
Yeah, that was the one thing. Some of these places that popped up were places that I was familiar with, but I was a little skeptical because I've never seen anything VGC related there.
Okay, we gotta look for dates. They might not be sanctioned yet. I'm not sure they are. So let's just say to like the 30th. Game store. Okay.
Yeah.
These have events coming up. Friendly, World Celebration. Oh, first challenge, September 9th. $200 League Challenge. But it's, see this little TCG?
Hmm.
Video games.
Oh, it needs to have the Joy-Cons. I see.
Yeah. Search. Let's go here. It's not my favorite user interface, but probably does the job.
Yeah, yeah.
Any upcoming events? League. Okay, league. No, these are all small, like, local stuff. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that they just don't have anything sanctioned yet. But this is how you do it. And if you need help with it, you can ask me in the future, too. Just DM me.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Um,
I mean, there's so many of these places around. I need to just like kind of get plugged in with that side of things.
yes. Also get into the Georgia server because the TOs will also definitely help you.
That would be great to get some recommendations because otherwise I'm just kind of going blind to you know, card shops or whatever that say they do VGC, not having any sort of knowledge if that's like a real thing that people show up for.
I'm going to ask right now, actually. Georgia VGC server. Okay, cool. Oh, they said that you're not allowed in. Dang. No noobs
Oh,
allowed.
man. Rough for me.
Ugh. I said, give me an hour. You won't be a noob.
There we go.
All right. So this is actually like a logistical skill. I think that making friends is actually huge. And first off, everybody in Georgia rocks. Like they're maybe pound for pound the friendliest like scene. They're awesome. They're very talented. Also, like Rowan, I forgot about Rowan down there. Oh, they sent me the link in literally 5 seconds. I'm sending it to you right
Damn, they're
now.
on top of it.
I gotta find you. All right, I sent you the link.
Oh, I got it. Thank you.
And Toller,
All right,
so
I'm
funny. Zach sent me the link, and then Toller was like, "Damn it, he beat me!" Like they're eager to have new people. They're a great scene, and literally like TOs, they like go to a tournament. People rock. Locals are great. Be friendly. Be respectful. You make friends in no time. As for the actual skill of playing Pokemon, you've already picked out kind of like you want to go to Atlanta Regional. Awesome. Logistical challenges. Get ready for it.
Yeah.
But as for playing, like the local scene is where you can start too. Also, something that I really encourage people to do is like just get involved in the local scene anyway. Like if you go to one tournament, like if you go to one regional and like all your locals, you'll probably get enough points to get the Ace Trainer reward card, which at this point they sell for like $700. So like it's almost always kind of it's like a self-sustaining hobby, even if you're not great at Pokemon, in my opinion. And if you work at it,
Yeah,
it really becomes self-sustaining.
That's cool. I didn't realize. I know that you can use some amount of those locals points for a world's qualification, but I figured with the number of events that I'm going to, like that's not even something to consider. But that's cool that you can get other prizes from those same points as well.
Yeah, I think that the thing too is like, if you have like a good tournament, you get like top 64, top 32, you get like a box, for, of like a booster box, and sometimes they're like really valuable cards, and all of a sudden it's like 300, $400 you can literally use to go to another tournament.
Yeah, I mean that'd be great if it could be something self-sustaining, like you said.
Yeah, I think that that's something that everybody can work towards. Pretty much anybody that like puts their time into this and just constantly works at it, I think even as just like a casual competitive hobby, you can get pretty good at Pokemon pretty quickly. It's a fun game. It's a great community. It's like one of the reasons why I think it's easier to get good at the game is partially because it's very easy to teach yourself once you know what to do. And then also like there's not too much that's hidden. And then also it is one of the types of games and communities and experiences that's like, come on, who doesn't want to go on their own Pokemon trainer journey and become a Pokemon champion? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, so, yeah, absolutely.
It makes the work a lot easier. So let's get into the actual meat of everything.
Yeah. So one thing that I've been struggling with, kind of mentally with Pokemon is that cycle that I described of playing, hitting Master Ball, putting it down because I have no motivation to continue, which I think part of that is the season itself. But I do think part of it is I can't find a team that I'm connecting with. And I think some of that is that we're in a pretty limited regulation right now, which I'm hoping opens up a little bit more.
It is, and it sucks. It's okay.
Yeah, in other games, what I've always like latched onto and found success with is when there's a strategy that's successful that I can take and that I can customize into my version of it. And the closest I've gotten now is I took Justin Tang's NAIC team from MA, the Floette Delphox balance team.
Okay.
I liked it, but I've played it now for like 3 seasons straight with I changed one move. I put Helping Hand on the Incineroar instead of Throat Chop.
Okay.
And that's like as much customization as I feel like I can possibly do with the tools that I have. And I guess one of the things I'd really like to get some input from you on is when the next regulation hits, how do you go about finding a team for a new format?
Well, it's different for me. I'm confident. So in my case, the first thing I'm looking for is something that I can uniquely design myself. A lot of people that actually build their own teams, we have humongous egos that are also extremely fragile. I consistently feel like, oh my God, my team building is crap. My team building is crap. But then when I do actually make a team and it's like metagame changing, like I'm like, yep, I'm the best. I'm the GOAT. Leave me alone.
Yeah.
Can't touch me. But the thing is, it's tough because it comes in and goes. I've been the pioneer of like maybe 3 different archetypes, maybe 4 technically, across 4 little different metagames. And it's tough because part of it is speed. I think one thing, it's a little bit of speed and luck. So let's talk about team stuff first.
Sure.
In 2016, I invented Reindeer. Like literally invented it. And that's an archetype, a restricted pairing. That's Xerneas and Kyogre. It was basically the way that I came about it was by luck. I was playing an MPA match, which is a team tournament, against somebody that I knew liked to use Yveltal and Groudon, so I picked the 2 restricteds that beat Yveltal and Groudon. And while I was working on it, I was like, whoa, this is really fun to use. And then that was a very formative year for me, and I just developed a lot of my style around that team. And it worked, and I think that it was kind of just like a harmony of like a bunch of different luck factors. That worked out for me. But why it worked out for me is because Xerneas was broken, and Safeguard Bronzong with Kyogre was also like extremely broken. It kind of literally just ended up being like the most powerful thing. Of the world's top cut teams in 2016, 6 of them had Safeguard Bronzong. I think 5 of them had Safeguard Bronzong and Kyogre combined. and 7 of them had Bronzong, period. Both teams in the finals also had Safeguard Bronzong with Skill Swap and Kyogre. So that's partially lucky, but also it's being able to kind of tell that, like, oh, this is a tool that is really powerful into the entire metagame. Or the thing that's just the strongest in the metagame. Because Xerneas was good, Groudon was good. With Kyogre on the board, Bronzong beats both. And Bronzong Kyogre beat both restricteds. And then you have a whole nother restricted to run. Some people chose Rayquaza, I chose Xerneas. Ooh, did I just break my monitor? Hold on. Oh, I just knocked I got it. Hold on. So other instances in 2017, the following year, I got to the team that I liked way too late. There was basically there was a composition called Fake PG, and it was like Tapu Koko, Porygon to Gigalith. And I was using something that was like basically just like handmade to beat that. I used an offshoot of that strategy at Worlds to make it through day 1. But the final version that I really liked, it had like Scarf Tapu Lele, and there was this Electrium Z Xurkitree with Substitute that I thought was really powerful. It's something that an old friend of mine, his name is Justin Ramirez, he let me kind of like use that idea with him. And one day we were just like talking in the car, like on the ride to some tournament. It was Hartford, Connecticut. And we like built like a version of it that ended up becoming like the final version of it. And then I won a huge money tour with that team. And that was like, oh, if I had found this before Worlds, I truly believe that like I could have won that whole tournament. Like delusionally, but I do. It was like one of the.
But you think it was that good? Like the team was good enough?
It was absolutely that good. Yeah. Like I played in this money tournament that I played Emilio Forbes into Alex Gomez into one of the Japanese players that got top 4 in 2014 into Jamie Boyd in succession, and I beat all of them. That's how good. And Raghav Malavia was also before that.
That's a run. Yeah.
Yeah. That was also like my prime too. Like maybe not maybe my first prime. So but that team finding it too late. I'm not doing this to gloat. I like kicked myself because if I had just spent more time believing in this idea and trying to figure out how to solve it like 100%, and I accelerated through different options, I would have got there before 6 weeks after Worlds, because it was a post-Worlds format where I figured that out. And it's to this day, it's one of my favorite teams that I've ever used. It had one small win. I'm happy with it. It was a cool tournament, and then it was just a really good team. I would say partially that I get half credits. That's why I say I think maybe 4 archetypes. The other 2 are Great Tusk, Talonflame, which I didn't technically invent, but I helped perfect the best version of. And it was like a group effort with me, Toller, Yotom. And then the next one was Iron Crown and Indeedee, which I came to. The story that I will say is I definitely invented that crap because I think Roberto stole it from me on ladder. But Roberto Parente is an Italian player who figured out that Reggie Drago was really good with it as well, and he invented his own version. Yes. We kind of we talked about it at a club in London. We were like, all right, we can share credit, but I still mildly delusionally believe that he stole it from me because I literally had the team that I got top 4 with in my builder, like literally day 1 of the format. Even before the Pokemon came out, I was committed to it. I just like the way it looks. And Crown is another situation where it was very lucky. I think it was very lucky that Crown was so powerful, and I was just obsessed with it. I just thought it was cool looking Pokemon. I wanted to use it. I thought it was a really powerful strategy. It was fast Ice Spam. Great Tusk. When I used it, I wasn't like, oh, I want to use this because it's cool looking. I just tested it, and I was like, oh, this thing is broken, and it took a lot of time to tool it to make it as broken as it was supposed to be. But part of it is mostly here's how I want to play my game through the format. And right now in Regulation MB, I can't exactly go into what has been the most comfortable for me because I'm running it in a couple days, but. Yeah. I hate this metagame. In fact, it might be my least favorite metagame I've ever played in my life by a long shot. And I played 2016, which is the definitive worst format we've ever had. But I think that I actually hate MB more because there are so many tools missing. that would be really nice to build with. Safety goggles is a huge one. Choice band and choice specs, so I can have something that's a special attacker on my team that isn't Charizard or Floette. There's a bunch of stuff. Right now, there's so many different reasons why this metagame is flawed. I don't want to just like spend time like going through them. But let me just kind of tell you what the consequences of these, the metagame is right now.
Sure.
We don't have ample checks to Whimsicott, Charizard, King Gambit, Basculegion, Floette. And
yeah, I would agree.
It's really those 5 Pokemon. It's not the Garchomp.
No, Garchomp is fine.
Garchomp is totally fine. Garchomp is a very balanced Pokemon now. Honestly, he's power correct. Yeah. But we don't have Assault Vest. We don't have Safety Goggles. We don't have any fighting types to beat King Gambit. Palmot has never looked at a metagame and cried harder for not, like, through the window, like, tears in their eyes. It's raining outside. Palmot is looking at this metagame, like, please, like, let me in.
Wow, I hadn't thought about that, but yeah, you're right. I mean, there's not very many electric types at all in the format, period.
There's not any electric
with
types.
Fighting coverage.
No grass types. Amoonguss would be great. I'm okay that we don't have Amoonguss. Like, I'm not the biggest Amoonguss. Like, we need it, you know. Rillaboom would be welcome, but it's fine that it's not here. And Didi would be welcome, but it's fine that it's not here. But genuinely, like, I'm more mad about Palmot and Assault Vest than I am anything else, because Palmot literally does so much in this metagame. And it was, I swear they intentionally left it out. They had to, because it's a new Pokemon and it's cute as hell, which is a huge bonus. And they left it out, and it's good. Like, that bothers me. They want Sneasler to be popular. That's what they wanted. And I hate Sneasler, even though they nerfed it, whatever. Annihilape is back, but there's Floette, and Annihilape can't compete in this metagame without Terra to fight against Floette. If it did have Terra, it would be great. You could fight against Floette by Terra firing.
Yeah, I kind of feel like the Golden Go and Annihilate changes were pretty heavy-handed, given that those Pokemon also relied on Terra a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if they needed to lose Terra and get their power reduced in so many other ways when they came to Champions.
Right. So, point that I'm getting to right here is I hate King Gambit with a passion. It's not the most broken Pokemon ever made, but the combination of not having any fighting types right now or Assault Vest for King Gambit's partners makes King Gambit absurdly, stupidly broken. And it's a Pokemon that, like, at any point in the game can kind of reversal you because of Sucker Punch. Sucker Punch is not my favorite move in doubles in Pokemon. And we only really have Farigiraf to block Sucker Punch pressure. Psychic Terrain manual. Psychic Terrain doesn't work. They were too cowardly to give Meowstic, Mega Meowstic, Psychic Surge.
I was kind of surprised. Would have been good.
Delphox would have been the real one to give Psychic Surge. I was manifesting.
Oh, interesting.
I had a little.
I will say Delphox has been the the Pokemon that I've gravitated towards the whole time Champions has been out. I did my own sort of team brewing when MB came out, but I just ended up. The pool of Pokemon is so small that the team that I built was the same thing that I think a lot of people came to, which was the Delphox Sceptile. Like, you get some what's the move?
Discharge
spam. You get some flying levitate coverage to do some earthquake stuff.
Yep.
Just a bunch of spread moves that don't affect your team. And then I found that, like, there wasn't a matchup that I ever wanted to bring Sceptile to, not even against Rain. And I was like, oh, I should just play a Delphox team instead. And that's pretty much what I've been doing ever since.
Yeah. And you know what that says, if there's anything that I can infer about that, it's that you like a Pokemon that kind of intuitively competes well with the top threats in the metagame. So Delphox is good into both Floette and Charizard. Everybody has a Charizard, everybody has a Floette. You're much more comfortable using Delphox into off-meta Pokemon than you are trying to make the most powerful meta Pokemon work in general.
Yeah, I mean, this most recent in-game season, up until today, I forced myself to play Aerozard, because I feel like when I'm not playing one of the Delphox balance teams, I I'm like just a much worse player.
Yeah.
Like my game plan is not there. My matchup knowledge is not there. Everyone has knowledge of how to play against, the other teams more than I have experience playing them. And so I was like, well, I'm gonna muscle through that. I'm tired of losing to Aerodactyl, Mega outspeeding me and killing me with Rock Slide. I'm gonna do that to people. Uh, and it's been the same struggle, like I don't know that I've actually gotten better with it.
Yeah. No, that's fine.
Way.
I actually think that that's maybe like the first step towards like breaking out of your comfort zone in the game. Losing to something and saying, well, crap, that didn't feel good to lose to. Let me do that to other people. One, you start to understand how people using the same stuff as you fight against it, right? Because you'll be like, oh, I'm going to use Aerodactyl King Gambit, and I'm going to run through them because they have no answers. And then all of a sudden, they find a really clever pattern that, like, oh, they get their Pokemon into a position, and whoa, why didn't I do this? And now you write that down, you go back to your team, and next time you play it, you try it out. And you find the counter to the counters, and you just keep going layers and layers deeper. Part of the flaw with MB, other than like the lack of tools too, is just like there's so much volatility in the leads.
Yes,
a lot of megas pull resources away from their partner megas. I think Blastoise Delphox is one of the biggest examples of that. It's the most coin flippy, where a lot of the things that are really good into Blastoise, Sinistcha, Venusaur, Charizard in general, Delphox kind of beats all of those. And if you lead those things to counter a Blastoise that's going to try and ramp really quickly, you can just get run over by Delphox. And like, it's funny that those are Blastoise teams where Delphox is the punish. I think on Delphox Floette, though, Delphox is kind of the main Pokemon to beat all of the Floette counters, and Floette punishes them trying to beat the Delphox. For example, yes. King Gambit, like rain teams in general, Floette's really good at punishing rain teams. And I have experience with both of those comps, partially because, like what you just said, I have to get experience with them because that's what everybody has to do. It's not the most intuitive thing in this meta to just like pick up a team. I think partially because there's so many different small damage windows and ranges that you have to kind of calculate. So my head calc is like maybe the best it's ever been, partially because I'm just like, all right, in order to be able to compete, I need to know all of these rolls: Aqua Jets, Sucker Punches, all over the place, spread moves that are chipped, spread moves that are parting shotted, spread moves that are don't have their weather boost, non-mega Floette because they want to protect their Sinistcha before Calm Minding and parting shotting and stuff. So there's a bunch of different modifiers that are at play, and the damage really, really matters, because if you go into King Gambit Sucker Punch range, you can just lose. And if you go into Aqua Jet range, you just lose. Or if you go into Wave Crash range and its Tailwind is up, you're just going to get rolled. And even Pokemon that don't do a ton of damage, like Whimsicott, they have great typing in this metagame for things like Blastoise and Garchomp. And even just like King Gambit, I think in some ways, because like you can just put it into range where Moonblast will kill it, and you can survive Sucker Punch. Especially with the partner of Floette. So there's basically all these different teams floating around, different ideas, but it's a lot of just stat stick Pokemon is what we would call them. Right. Kind of just swinging damage at each other in the right order. So unfortunately, in order to get like really good at this format, it's not a typical Protect the King strategy type of format that you can like get away with that. I also think that like Protect the King, Protect the Queen, I've always called it PTK. I think the proper terminology is Protect the Queen, but PTK is so much easier to say than PTQ. So Protect the King, like Floette, Delphox, Fake Out, Cycle, Sinistcha, Redirection, that type of archetype was a lot more overpowered when we had Terra. Nowadays, without Terra, I think it's actually like kind of a second-rate strategy compared to just Whimsicott, damage dealers, run and gun offense.
Yeah, you might be right.
But it's not, it's like, I'm not saying second rate in a bad way. I mostly just mean like it's B tier rather than A tier, or A tier rather than S tier. It's probably more just A tier than it is S tier. It's still one of the most powerful teams in the meta. I don't think that it's intuitive. I would say that it's very funny that like a Pokemon like King Gambit is on that team, because King Gambit is not the most you know, protect the king Pokemon that you want to use in that way, where it's like guaranteed damage, like fake out cycle.
Well,
Once you have the setup, you're ready. Because Sucker Punch is technically a contingent move.
it is. Yeah, I don't know. I think that was one of the big things that clicked with me when I was looking at that team is like King Gambit is your second mega that you get to bring to every game that doesn't take a Mega Stone.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it clicks Swords Dance, and then you have and then once you've done that, they're pinned.
Yep.
Like whatever Pokemon you want to punish for attacking, you can kill whenever you want. And if you don't need to do that, you just Kowtow cleave things down.
So, if you were okay with King Gambit and you like using it, the motivational stuff, that's where I'm curious. Is it, like, what would you say causes you to not want to just go out and Sucker Punch people to death?
I don't. I guess that's a good question.
You're using one of the
I
most
mean,
broken
I
Pokemon.
will say that with King Gambit, it is hard to get the Swords Dance set up.
It's difficult to use. Yeah.
It is, and I know that the most popular build is the 4 attack like Choppleberry or Focus Sash version, but I really like the just 2 attack Dark Glasses Swords Dance version personally.
I think that version fits much better onto the Delphox Floette comps. It makes it more difficult for the opponent to justify bringing Incineroars, and it's a really good complement to Floette. You can kind of just take out all the fast, frail things that outspeed it. It's good into sand teams. It's good for breaking really big, bulky walls that can't out-damage you, like Milo. And understanding how to use it, I think, is a big part of like what will give you an ease of access or, you know, path of least resistance towards really enjoying the team and taking it far. But I'm assuming also that you're playing a lot of in-game ladder on champions, right?
Yeah, that's most of what I play. I have done some like best of 3 open team sheet on Showdown because that is obviously that's like the official event format, and that's what I want to be more comfortable with. That's gone pretty well. Kind of similar issues where I don't feel like I have a reason to play too much other than to get the skill of doing it, which is, it's not nothing, right? But it's also not like I'm going to be able to keep working on this team and preparing for an event with it, because by the time the events that I'm able to go to roll around, the format will be different, and I don't really know how to prepare for that.
Here is a team that I think is very powerful and very anti-meta.
Yeah, I have been looking at the Frostlass Scovillain stuff. This team has just kind of always been there, hasn't it?
It has.
And it seems like it's I think this team is really underplayed for how good it seems to be.
It is. And I'll tell you the reason this team has a really difficult time with Raichu.
Oh, is that why?
It doesn't have anything that outspeeds it naturally, and it only has Scovillain Redirection to kind of try and trade through it in one turn. But it's also all physical attackers as far as damage dealers go. So there's literally no damage dealing button on this team that can break Raichu in one shot through Intimidate, because they're EV to live this Life Orb Wave Crash. And technically they can intimidate the Sneasler. Like there's ways that you can get through it, but one of the teams that has recently like dominated in the meta is that Zaptor team. There's
yeah, the Raichu Y
Yes.
Staraptor team.
And that team
That's a
has
cool team.
It is. It has a. I hate it, but it's a cool team. Raichu, Staraptor, commonly come with Farigiraf, and they have the Hisuian Arcanine, which is a terrible matchup in my opinion for this type of team. So people that are using this type of team, I'm sure we'll still see it at Worlds. They've probably figured a lot out to be able to get through a team like that. And in some cases, it's not the most obvious. Like maybe they have really bulky pieces instead, like super bulky Sneasler, super bulky setup King Gambit, super bulky Basculegion. Or maybe they come up with a plan that like just flips a couple coins, and then if they get the flips right, they win.
Mhm.
But that's kind of how this team works. I think this is a very powerful anti-meta team. It can really just like kind of win games out of nowhere. Is what I think is really cool. Scovillain is also like a really underexplored Pokemon in my opinion. His ability is so broken. Like one of the coolest, most It's a terrible Pokemon, but it has one of the most powerful abilities. Actually, it has two of the most powerful abilities.
But I was going to say both the regular form and the Mega have insane abilities.
Yeah, and like it pairs really well with like Rage Powder. It's just such a strong Pokemon. I think that's kind of a really underrated element of this team. Is like almost at any point, if you get too comfortable, you can get caught off guard, caught slipping by the Scovillain. So yeah, this is a team too that I would say also like is a little bit antithetical to what you've been working with. If you have been clicking fake out, setup move, swapping a Cine, doing the fake out Vortex, protect the king, which is fine. That's Pokemon. There's no correct or wrong way to play Pokemon. Only opinions. And this is a team that I think is kind of on the almost opposite spectrum of that. It's like all your damage is packaged into these Pokemon. You technically do have a setup Pokemon here with King Gambit, but that's really only to break certain things. Otherwise, you should have all the damage you need and pretty much everything else. And you're just swinging.
Yeah.
So this is a team that I think, like, if you were to ask me to prescribe how to, like, maybe step out of your comfort zone and really work on other stuff, I wouldn't lean towards the Arrow team because that team is so lead heavy. Like, it's just pick the right leads and you win. I swear. But also it's powerful with like flinches and stuff, and there's tons of like forced trades and everything. There's more to it than that, but I swear one of the strongest elements of that team is how punishing it is on lead. So yeah.
Yeah, I felt that. You know what I think? I've realized one of the problems for somebody like me with a team like that is that because it's like a very standard, popular, well-established team, it's a little boring, and there's not people making videos highlighting it and how to play it. They just talk about like, here, tournament results. Here's how it's doing. Here's the most recent build or whatever, and that doesn't let me see somebody better than me handle that lead situation.
Yeah,
whereas something that's a little bit more off the wall.
Something that's been a symptom of this format too is it was announced after an AIC, so we have no VODs, like really high level VODs of this happening. The best place that you can really find some of this is on Victory Road.
Actually able to get.
No, Victory Road. They had the Road to San Francisco.
Hey, yo, let me talk to you.
Oh, hopefully you can't hear that.
Hear it.
I love you, Victory Road, and all the work you do for our community, but why can you not chop your freaking VODs up and put them on YouTube? I could do it in an hour. Pay me, I'll do it.
So what is this that you sent me?
Passers. Start playing on Showdown. If you want to start getting better, I recommend stepping away from Champions. Focus on your improvement rather than the team building piece.
Sure. That makes sense.
You're going to get involved with a lot of people. You're going to be running around with some real ones that are going to be also running some crazy crap too. But don't feel pressured to just be creative for creativity's sake. And find a way, I would say, to love the process more than the result is a big deal. Why is this such terrible quality? Hello.
I mean, really what I feel like I've been looking for the whole time Champions has been out, and I've not totally found, is a team that clicks with me. I don't feel like I'm super far off, but I don't feel like I'm there either.
Yeah. No, I get you. Honestly, I think I might be in the same boat. Not like there's any important tournaments coming up.
Yeah, I mean, nothing to get ready for.
Here you go. This is the best VOD you're going to get. And here's something I'm going to teach you too is I mean, you probably know this to some extent, but you can watch just existing gameplay and you can really extrapolate the reasoning behind why they're doing what they're doing.
Sure.
This is why I hate when the VODs are not on YouTube. It's so much more tedious to comb through. Okay. Let's go through a quick exercise. You're watching gameplay. of somebody that's on basically 5 or 6 of your comp. Just pretend like the Blastoise is, fulfilling a similar adjacent role to the Floette as a secondary sweeper. Blastoise, Kingambit, Floette, Delphox, they're kind of all in the same package. Some of them pull resources away from each other in different ways. I think Blastoise is a lot better into rain teams, like the Perish team, etc. But it's also... Floette's also really good into rain itself, and I would say Floette is also really, really good into like opposing Kingambit.
Yes. Would this be an open format event or an open team sheet event where I would know the Kingambit set?
Yes. Now, if you're going to any type of locals or whatever, they're all open team sheet. They're
right.
mostly open team sheet. Sometimes they do best of one closed sheet cups or whatever. It's like the smaller ones, but you don't have to play in those. They're usually just like if you don't do well in the big one, they'll just have like an extra 2-hour tournament of like closed team sheet best of one, and you get some extra championship points. But yes, so basically pretty much everything on this team is as you would expect it to be. I don't remember if the Kingambit or the Basculegion or the Garchomp has the Life Orb, but let's just assume it's... Maybe I can go back. Please let me go back. All right, here we go.
Okay.
Cheat. Life Orb, Citrus,
Life Orb.
and it's
okay. So it's Akaberry, and their Kingambit doesn't have a Steel move. Okay, that was what I was curious about.
There you go. And I'm sure that it stands out because you're like, wait, why are they going Kingambit instead of Delphox, right?
Yeah, that was kind of my thought because that's what I would want to lead there. It's good against like everything.
So you're.
I mean,
correct.
you have problems with the Basculegion, but like that's why you have the Incineroar to hedge it, right?
Yes, exactly. That's word for word exactly what I would have said. Okay, Basculegion, Floette, you're playing this board. How are you dealing with this board?
I'm the Incineroar Kingambit side.
Yeah. I would love for it to just be like focused on the pieces. Here we go. Go ahead.
Right. So, two thoughts. I can put fake out pressure on the Floette to stop it from getting a Calm Mind set up, but theirs isn't Calm Mind. I want to get a Kowtow Cleave into the Basculegion. Oh wait, but this is Life Orb, so I can Sucker Punch it and probably Parting Shot the Floette.
Okay. You risk dying to Light of Ruin.
Yes.
Could get Aqua Jet Light of Ruin. Could get Moonblast.
You could get Aqua Jet Light of Ruin.
But if you're going for the Parting Shot, that's fine. I think if you're going to Parting Shot, maybe you do want to Sucker with the Bask slot.
Mm-hmm.
That would probably hedge a little bit against the potential of the Light of Ruin.
Yeah, because I don't necessarily want the Incineroar on this board state, right?
Right.
Yeah, and if they protect or whatever, like you're fine.
Okay. They opted to go for Fake Out. You were close. And then do they Sucker? They jetted. If you had gone Parting Shot and Kowtow, you would have been probably came out on the better end of this. Boom. I got the Sucker grade wrong.
He suckered. Oh, because of the priority on the Aqua Jet.
Yes, to get around that exactly.
That is something that I often forget in the moment, and then I'm immediately reminded of after that exact thing that just happens.
Yep. Here comes the Light of Ruin. It takes out the Ensign. Ensign seems to be an important piece for later in the game. Either they're setting up some type of, I want to say just Zard endgame, or no, sorry, Floette is already on. I want to say their own Kingambit endgame. Could be Chomp. I doubt it's Chomp though. Now here comes Delphox. Interesting, because this is a great board for the Delphox to be on.
Right. Once the Basculegion's not standing in front of it.
Okay. I'm just waiting for it to give me a board. Now what? Ensign's gone. Bask is swapped into the Floette or Whimsicott.
We saw the Whimsicott took damage, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not at full health, so its Focus Sash is broken. Yeah.
Right.
Okay. I don't I don't love this actually. I mean, I want to go for Heat Wave because I think with the damage that the Floette has taken from Light of Ruin, we can Sucker Punch Heat Wave, and that'll take care of it. I don't think we're able to preserve King Gambit in any reasonable way, and then we just have to win
You can protect.
Yeah, but if we do that, the Whimsicott can set up Tailwind for them,
They're gonna do
kind
that
of like
anyway.
unpunished. Yeah, they're gonna do it anyway, right? But like, what I want is if they're gonna set up Tailwind, I want to take 2 KOs. Is my thought, right? And that's why
Do you?
that's why I want the Sucker Punch Heat Wave play.
So the thing is that Delphox can endure the damage, I think, from these guys. I think if you have Heat Wave, it's not the worst thing to have Whims go down, and then you have the Basket Legion hit the board. It's not the best. Okay, I'm okay with the Sucker and Heat Wave play. Looks like they opted to go for the Protect.
If they go for the Protect, then you just get the 1 KO. I mean, 90% of the time, and that's fine.
Then Bass comes back, right? Oh, their own King Gambit comes down.
No. Interesting.
Now they have
So-
low kick pressure.
So that's when I protect and pivot into Sinistra.
Okay.
Protect the Delphox, pivot the King Gambit.
Okay. Oh, they go for Sucker. Why did they do that? To
Oh,
put it into
interesting.
Heat Wave range.
That's not something I would have. Well, it's interesting.
This is they dodged the Light of Ruin, so they basically just
Oh.
got bailed. They should have.
Yeah,
lost.
that's yeah.
Did they
Okay.
lose anyway? Yes, they lost anyway. Okay, they were behind. Now, man, my King Gambit strategy didn't work. What am I gonna do? I'm gonna switch to the Blastoise mode. I hate this team. I hate the Blastoise specifically. I hate so many things in this meta. It's like
The Blastoise mode never clicked with me. What is it that you don't like about it?
how difficult it is to play against with a lot of teams.
Hmm.
They lead Incin Blastoise with Cinean back, and if you don't have strong special spread damage, you lose. If you're used to using Floette, so it's not that big of a deal.
I guess that's true. Yeah.
Yeah, having Floette, Blastoise is a joke, but anything else. And having set up Floette especially, because then you can outpace it. Just use it as a damage sponge, take all your health back with Draining Kiss.
Yeah. Exactly.
So this time they got the Sneasler, Blastoise. And let's see what they're doing.
Okay. So
Neither of them protect turn one because you don't have any time to. So they could have faked out and just faked out and water.
When you say they don't have any time to, what do you mean? Like, I guess the Floette team doesn't want to give Blastoise a chance to Shell Smash, which makes sense.
That's the answer. You can't double protect because they can Shell Smash, and theoretically they can protect, swap, Incin, so that they can block Encore for later, whatever.
Oh, right.
Yep.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Now, also, I have another question. Did they Tailwind? What did they do?
I don't think so.
Did they double Blastoise? Or double the Sneasler? I can't tell. Hold on. What did you do, Whimsicott? Who did you Moonblast? Blastoise? Oh, wait, it's
Oh,
slower?
it must have- For it to be slower than Floette, it has to be really slow.
No, it's swapped in. I'm stupid. It was Basket Legion lead. That's why.
Oh, okay.
Right? Is that what it...
Yes, that's right.
No way.
Because the Basket Legion is highlighted on the side. Yeah.
And they went for a poison jab into that switch. They called that out
That
so
is-
hard.
That is a wild move. I'll be honest. I don't think in 1,000 years I would have poison jabbed into the Basket Legion slot.
This is the type of thing that like you kind of figured out in the lab. Like sometimes you just have these plays. Like like oh, they like to do this specific set play. This is my counter to it. Probably buys them the entire game back too. It's also I think relatively low risk. Like you're gonna potentially get a poison on the Basket Legion, and then like, are they really going to stay in there and risk getting Dark Pulsed? They protect, probably, worst case. The
Oh, it is different when I'm not used to thinking about the Blastoise Dark Pulse, but yeah, that does change the Basculegion play a little bit.
Yeah, it's trying to swap around the potential for the Dark Pulse. So I think that it's sensible to go for Poison Jab there. It's not as crazy as I thought.
I've got a minutia question. I realize it probably doesn't matter much, but I've noticed a lot of people playing the Poison Touch, Poison Jab Sneasler, and I get the math on that and getting your poisons, but what I don't understand is doing that over Dire Claw because the math is not that different, but you just can high roll into sleep and paralysis. Am I totally off base with that?
No, not at all.
Like, okay.
Here,
The Dire Claw version seems like it's totally gone now, and I just don't understand why. It still seems great to me.
I think Poison Jab is like a, 50% chance that you get a poison with Poison Touch.
I think so.
Unburden is really reliable on Sash Sneasler, especially if the opponent knows that you're Unburden. They can play around it always. And good players always will. The Poison Touch math, in my experience, this isn't a definitive fact. I'm not necessarily a Poison Touch, Poison Jab Sneasler guy. But I think that the poison damage racks up. Partially into things like... It's like for like Milotic very often, I think. Like you can really easily get around Milotic if you just get a poison on them. It's also for like Floette. If they're Calm Mind Floette, it makes it much harder for them to cycle, intimidate, and like swap in and out. What else? There's other things too. There's a really high chance that you just get the whims on the Poison Jab turn.
Yeah.
Rather than it being alive for another turn with the Sash. So there's...
Yeah, that's all huge. I just was kind of surprised to see that nobody goes for the Dire Claw version. It's all Poison Jab.
Yeah, Sneasler is really like a support piece on this type of team. It does do damage, obviously, but I think that because you with Unburden, you don't get anything. Like there's no reason to run Unburden. You run Poison Touch, and then because you're Poison Touch, it's probably going to be much more valuable to have Poison Jab and like consistently fish for poison than it is Dire Claw. And I just tried to point out most of the examples where that would count.
Right.
But, you know, if somebody at Worlds gets asked this question in an interview and they completely say, yeah, I was watching this stream where Justin Karras said this, that guy's an idiot. This is actually why I do this. Then, yeah. But, I mean, this is me assuming and making as much of an educated, informed explanation as I can.
Yeah, it makes sense. It's just something I've noticed.
Yeah.
I've never heard anybody really talk about.
Something I do very routinely is I'll look at team sheets and I'll like ask the question of like, why did they do this? One of my favorite examples ever is there was this tournament where somebody was running Registeel back in Regulation F, and I was like, oh, Registeel's cool, but like they were running Light Metal instead of Clear Body, which is like the point of running Registeel is you always have access to full powered Heavy Slam and you can set up for Body Press. And I was like, why is it Light Metal? And we were like, this is me, Toller, Kazuki, Yotam, and like, I think it was Kazuki that was like, oh, because there's a Hisuian Zoroark on the team. And if you get intimidated and you're Zoroark pretending to be Registeel, you would reveal that you're Clear Body and that you're Zoroark. So it's better, it's literally optimal to be Light Metal to maximize your Zoroark. And they made day two. So that's the reason they did that informed decision. And like looking at all those little things is really valuable. There's always like a story in some of it. Sometimes you look at it and you're like, this person is a nut job, and this has to be so unique and niche and situational. But I mean, at one time I played against like a Scarf Sub Shed Tail Heliolisk, and I learned in that moment that it got Shed Tail. I was like, what? And it messed me up, and I was like, oh my god, what am I supposed to do against this? And I'm like, well, I guess that's why they used it, right? For this situation, it came up.
Right.
So we don't have to go through the whole game here. We're actually getting right towards the end. The major point I wanted to make with the VODs is like sometimes you have to kind of like build your own pipeline for where you're going to get access to them. Look at tournaments that happened and comb through. It's tedious on Twitch. Please track down the VODs and put them on YouTube. But it's worth it. Like, I mean, I do this I'll watch these just like, I'll put it on, listen to it while I'm like showering or cooking or something, or I'll listen without looking at my phone while like I'm driving somewhere. And I'll try to visualize and like figure out what the actual like board states are and the decision patterns are, because there's a lot for me to like learn from this stuff, even if I don't fully understand it. And I would say like I'm not really any better at figuring out the decisions that people are making than the average Joe that plays Pokemon. I'm not that you're the average Joe, but assuming you're around that level.
Sure, yeah.
Maybe a little better. But the idea is that like I'm a little bit faster at it. I think I can comb through everything a little bit faster. And working on that speed and like extrapolating all the decisions that kind of matter, it becomes obvious. If you look at the calcs and you like pay attention to all the damage that can be done, all the plays that are available to the opponent, like you'll be like, oh, maybe wait, why did they do that? They could have just gotten wave crash and died. And I was on a call earlier today doing a lesson, and I was like, actually, I think they live. If they're any type of bulk, they probably live that. So step one is like digging into the calcs. Step two is like looking at like the counter leads and everything. Like figure out why they went for this. Is it just because something wasn't working, or are they trying to punish something? Did they have like a set plan? Like, are they going to Dire Claw or a Poison Jab into the Basket Legion slot because everybody always swaps in their whims there? Another thing is like, in a full best of 3, you're buying yourself time to think very often. So plays like that give you enough of a lead where like your 4 or 5 turns are just very obvious what you're going to do next. And you can start spending time thinking about your next plan. And I have a lot of game plans like that going into Worlds where like I'm in a bad position, but here's a play that I think I can make that will like work. And it's like kind of like a pocket read. And it gets me time. Like if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I was going to lose because they played better. But if I'm right, I might buy myself a lot of time. Sometimes I do it when I'm in a corner, or like I take a swing in like a game 1 that I thought I was going to lose, This is the opponent's job to make sure that they close the game out. Finding those little windows buys you time to think, go through all your plans. And what we just talked through, where you're like, all right, is the King Gambit going to protect here? Is it going to go for a sucker punch? You want to do this damage now. In some cases, I think that you're just dead in the water anyway, right? So maybe it might look unintuitive for the opponent to do that, but run through the turns and be like, okay, if they sucker punched, they would have done this much damage. How much damage? Let me check the damage calc. All right, they would have done that much damage. This is the play that they made. This actually covered everything that they could have done. They were just hoping that Light of Ruin missed, right? And then all of a sudden you're like that, because if Light of Ruin connects, GG. That's not a read in some cases. Sometimes there's like, well, it can miss. Hopefully they miss. I'm already screwed, so.
Yeah. Sometimes you just got to figure out how to get as much value out of your pieces as you can before they're taken off the board for you.
Yeah. I would urge you, especially during the World Championships stream, to check out some of the really high-level games. We're going to get a ton of footage after this weekend.
Yes. Yeah, I'm really excited.
Me too. Hopefully it's a lot of footage of me.
Yeah, hopefully.
And then I can go over all of it with my students, but we'll see. Even if it's not, there's a lot of people out there that are way better than me that we're going to get a ton of footage of. So that's going to be very fun to look at. And I mean, it's all about like the grind. I think that the thing with Pokemon, I hate playing Pokemon right now. Not in the sense of like my hobby or my passion is dying for it. I still love the gameplay and the competition and the whole process. But I don't enjoy Regulation MB at all. Like, it feels like forcing myself to eat dog food. But I'm going to go have an amazing time, and I'm still always loving the process of, like, here's the elements of my game that I'm working on. Here's what has been, like, actually improving. In your case, focus on the extrapolation. Think about the turns. It sounds like you already know a lot of what's going on, and you have a good intuition for plays that make sense. I think you just need to challenge yourself to be able to like really scope out a game and say, here's all the things that could have happened. Pick a side, try and calculate your way through it.
Yeah, I can do that. That's a good mindset. I appreciate that.
Yeah, of course. That should hopefully help with the motivation thing. And then do like one exercise of this. Just go through as much of the game as you can, take some notes, and trust me, that will be much more fun in my opinion than like trying to just play a bunch of sucker punch mind games. And if you ever feel like, wow, I'm tilting or Champions is really unfun right now, switch back to the VOD review, switch back to the watching other people play, talk with people, make friends, go out for a beer once in a while. That helps a lot.
Yeah. I think getting a system of like other people who are also into it helps with the motivation a lot.
Oh, for sure. That's the best part. Literally the best part. All right. I think we're right towards the end.
Cool.
And I have another
All right.
lesson after this. It was a pleasure. I really enjoyed talking with you.
Yeah.
And
All right. I'm gonna dip out. I appreciate your time.
thank you. Keep in touch.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yo,
Yo.
how's it going?
It's going. Sorry, I was looking at chat. What do we got today? Trying to learn how to play Pokemon, or just get better?
That's right. Yeah, I'm a new player. I started basically at Champions. I played a little bit of Reg F because I was eager to get going, and then Champions came out. And so, the reason that I wanted to get coaching is because I think part of what I want to learn how to do is tournament prep.
Mhm.
So I signed up for Baltimore, which produces a unique challenge of we're not going to know what is going to be legal until I've been told 9 days before the event.
Yep.
And then I also signed up for Louisville, which gives me about a month
Oh, you're in it then.
after that. Correct.
This is awesome.
And then I guess the next one in the US is San Diego or something in like December, something like that.
Vegas.
Vegas, there you go.
It's on the day of my
So-
wedding, so that's why I know.
Oh, right on. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So my question is, those are like 3 sort of time periods that I'm working in right now, and sort of tournament prep in those time frames and how that looks, I suppose.
Okay. So the first one, the most challenging one, is probably going to be Baltimore, but truthfully, it's going to be
Right.
the most fun, I think. In some cases, depends on what they add. I don't know what they're going to add. I think in theory we're going to get Lucario Z and Absol Z. We've
And,
heard some rumors of
Garchomp,
yeah, Garchomp Z as well.
Golisopod, Baxcalibur, Tatsugiri is what I've heard.
Yeah, I think we're going to get a lot
Or
of
like
new
that- that's
megas.
Yeah.
But what did we get in the last one? We got a bunch of crappy megas, like Chandelure. Actually, I think that was legal the whole time.
Chimecha.
Oh, yeah, we had Chimecha we started with. Hold on, I swear we got like a... Oh,
Mawile,
Mawile, which...
Metagross.
It's alright. Metagross is alright. They took away Heavy Slam, not that good.
Swampert.
Oh, we got Swampert was a big change. Blaziken was kind of a big change, but like we got like Sceptile. We also got the other crappy ones too that it's just like escaping me.
No, we had Feraligatr.
Dragouge.
Oh, Pyro.
Pyro is alright. Pyro is kind of like cool, but not that great. Oh, and then we got Raichu. So like technically, I guess Raichu, Staraptor. We got Swampert. Yeah. Like the metagame did shift a lot, but it took a while for it to shift, I would say.
True.
So truthfully, in Baltimore, the best thing you can do is, I mean, if you think you're like, whoa, one of these new megas is really broken. If I'm like, my intuition would say I'm gonna try and find like the most broken team around one of these new megas if I can, because that might have like the best bang for your buck in terms of like quick turnaround. The other thing is like if you're really, really experienced with like a team that does really well at Worlds and you have all of your prep done already, just see what you need to do to modify that team to beat all the new stuff.
Yeah, I was talking with someone at my locals, and he said, honestly, you should just play Charizard Floette, and then if you get Covert Cloak, put it on Whimsicott, and if you get Assault Vest, put it on, what's his name, King Gambit?
Yep.
And so, another thing, I think a big problem that I'm also having in this game is team building is basically impossible, from my perspective. So I haven't even really tried.
What do you mean from your perspective?
So I come from fighting games and
Oh, which one?
TCGs. Mostly Smash.
Same. What do you mean?
Super Smash Brothers.
Got a money match right now?
Sure. If you
Just
want.
kidding.
I'm a little rusty, but we'll give it a shot.
Maybe after. Maybe after
Hop on
Worlds.
Dolphin. Yeah, for sure.
Oh, we're talking like melee?
Yeah.
Oh man, now you would whoop me. I take it back.
Okay,
I'm
right
terrible
on.
at melee.
But in TCGs in particular, I think deck building is a lot easier than team building in this game, because like you have most of the cards that you max out is like pretty obvious, because it's like whatever is tribal or whatever is good. And in this game, like a Baskia Legion can be Adamant and Jolly and Mystic Water and Focus Sash and Choice Scarf. I think so. What I've been doing since I've been playing is just copying teams from other people and then mashing games on it,
Mhm.
trying to learn that way.
Net decking it is.
So, yeah, correct. And then in 9 days, I feel really underprepared to make a team, basically.
Okay. So yeah, I would definitely stick with the opposite, the second one. And truthfully, the Big Six comp, it's strong enough that it might endure whatever comes out. Like they're not going to give us a counter to it right away. I would say the most devastating thing that could happen for it is Assault Vest being released. But we would need Assault Vest and probably another fighting. Like, okay, actually, the worst combination I think of things that could happen to that strategy, that team, is Indeedee and Assault Vest being released at the same time. That's the only way I would strategize.
Tell me about that.
Yeah. Well, so like if we get Terrains back, you have a whole new set of fake out Pokemon that hit the metagame. And Rillaboom, for example, if we get Rillaboom, we probably get Indeedee. I don't think that they would ever come separately. If we get Terrains, I imagine that they might give us the seeds as well. And then Sneasler has Unburden and Psychic Seed. Again, that's huge. It can by itself always be faster than Charizard. It can by itself always be faster than Floette. So those are maybe the few things that I think are a risk. But I doubt that we get all of that. I would maybe say at most we get Assault Vest. If we only get Assault Vest, there needs to be like specific Pokemon that also get released that are like genuinely bad enough for the Big Six comp to not work. And yeah, you're going to want to maybe just try that team out and then figure out the strategies that you want to adapt to it. Honestly, that in 4 or 5 days, you'll probably see it on ladder.
Yeah, for sure. So then the other thing, for sticking on Baltimore and the whole 9 days turnaround, the other thing that has been recommended to me by the more veteran players at my local scene is to just check the like Victory Road tournaments that week. But I'm wondering what the real question is. I feel like playing games is obviously extremely helpful, but in a short amount of time, I don't feel like the volume necessary to feel comfortable in a format is possible. And so I'm wondering if there is some sort of like, if you have suggestions for practice in a short amount of time.
Well, truthfully, I think that when you have a short amount of time, the best strategy in a new metagame, the best strategy is actually to be able to build your own team. And when you mentioned
terrible news for me,
terrible news, yeah, unfortunately, the rich get richer. The people that can play and can build and do things on a quick, like it's unfair. Yes, it's absolutely unfair. They may also not change the rotation for that tournament. Like they might just go back on that. They might say, "Oh, it's not fair. Let's make it this instead. I doubt they'll do that, but if it is just 9 days, then yes, unfortunately, the rich get richer. People that know how to team build are going to have a good time. There's going to be a lot of people that aren't going to Baltimore. And a lot of people are going to be scrapped. Yeah, the thing I'm going to say is, like, one, a lot of people are going to be in the same exact boat as you. They don't know how to team build. They're just going to rip a deck, and they're going to try and ball out with whatever they can. A lot of people are going to be throwing stuff at the fan. And then other people are just going to try and see what sticks. Some people are going to see it as a testing ground, especially good players. Like, if I was going to Baltimore, I may be going, but I'm not registered. My plan would be to probably, like what I just said, find something that works around something new and broken. Because, like, I knew that Raichu was really good in the beginning of Regulation MB. It was one of the first things that I started working around. I also knew that Staraptor was really good. It's also one of the things that I started working around. I didn't know that they were good together on that exact composition of team. But if I had spent some time, like, really thinking about, like, a strategy that was powerful, I'm not going to say I get full credit for this, but there was a Wolf Invitational, and I borderline invented Raichu Sylveon. Somebody else probably did it too, same time, maybe before me. But I was like, oh, I think Raichu and Sylveon would work together. And I gave that to the person that was coaching for that event. I'm not the best team builder, but I found a way to make that team work into pretty much everything but Mega Venusaur, and it just really sucked that we played 2 Mega Venusaur in that event. So I don't think it's that far out of the realm, though, of possibility for you to, like, just say, here's something powerful, and find some ideas that work around it. As far as building a fully functional team, if the metagame doesn't change that much, what do you have to lose, right? You can practice. You basically will know a lot of the teams that already exist, and then you can try practicing building to counter those exact teams. Or everybody's going to be scrambling anyway because the metagame changed a lot, and nobody really knows what they're doing. And it's just going to be the good players that come out on top, as they usually do anyway. You're not going to be able to teach yourself to team build in 6 weeks, but
yeah,
actually, it's not even that. It's like 4 weeks. But
it's not. I was going to say. I think it's 4 weeks from today.
Yeah. But I mean, again, it's 9 days. I think that, like, basically you have to, like, kind of look through cores that work and try and make them work for the tournament. And then it's not a bad thing if you go 4-4 at the event. You might go 4-4 using Big Six too.
True.
And it's just like, that's an exercise in team building. You can kind of understand where things with your team didn't work in the actual event. And it sucks because, like, yeah, we're investing into stuff like this, but you can learn a lot about your process of, like, where you got with a team idea in that 9-day turnaround. In fact, that's been something that was a major goal for me this year, was, like, how do I turn around a team idea very quickly? How do I actually get it to work? Start of the season, I had Pittsburgh. I ripped the team from Victory Road. Early, didn't know what people were going to do, but it was the second time we were revisiting the meta. Next tournament I went to, I was working on my old Iron Crown team. That was Toronto. I did not like how Iron Crown was faring in a lot of popular matchups. And there was one team that stood out to me in those matchups that felt really broken. And I tested it to see how it did into the rest of the meta. And I was like, wow, this is really strong. I'm terrible with it, but I can see why it's really strong. Taught myself how to play it in about 9 days, actually. And made a lot of twists on that composition to, like, make it fit my style. I used Life Orb Raging Bolt, was one big deal. I had Pain Split, Terragrass Fluttermane. And, like, these are all, like, it was kind of all ideas that existed, but I used them and, like, meshed them all together because I felt like they fit me the best. I really liked Pain Split Fluttermane, even though I had no experience with it. And I don't think it was optimal on that team, but I've really liked using it for how I used it. Same thing with Raging Bolt with Life Orb. Everybody runs Calm Mind on those teams. I really liked Life Orb because of the immediate burst, and don't need to market it, but I did make a whole video about exactly that.
Oh, well, I've actually watched it, buddy.
There you go.
Don't you worry.
I'm reiterating the same point.
So my question now, kind of branching off of that, is So when you're working on a team, so
Mhm.
now I'm thinking more about Louisville, like a month into the format or a month and a half into the format.
Yep.
What is that process of adjusting a team? Like, how do you go about that?
In the one of the lessons that I was doing today, the first one for this last stream was my student had Gardevoir Aerodactyl, and
Okay.
they didn't have any fairy resists.
Tough.
So they just got rolled by Floette. And they also didn't have any water switch-ins. So they had their own Basculegion. And they had no way to like proactively deal with Basculegion. First thing that stood out was like, all right, this is the most popular team in the format. You have nothing to deal with it. You're going to get rolled. We found a way to win the game, but it was all just like coin flips.
Sure.
And that's not a consistent way to get through teams like that. You want to have a consistent, this will work into, 5 out of 6 of the Pokemon that they could bring, and all of the combinations of those leads into me. And at least if it doesn't like win you the game on turn 1, it gets you to the next turn and progresses you 1% towards your end game where you win. The rest is all other Pokemon skills, like how you manage your resources, stay in the right position, damage trade when you're supposed to damage trade, pivot when it's right to pivot and it's safe to pivot. Smart protects, smart speed control, smart sacrificial plays, like I'm going to let my Whimsicott go down, Charizard, Garchomp at the board, I sweep. And those skills are very important to work on, but as far as a team goes, you need to be able to just recognize, like, well, I don't have a fairy switch in. Some people think that that's an intuitive thing to look at and just, I should know that I don't have a fairy switch in. But truthfully, if you don't have Charizard on your team, there's not that many fairy switch-ins anyway. And a hallmark of this metagame is kind of that, like, fire types defensively are just the best thing. That's why Bulkyzard exists. It's so you can actually kind of have something that can tank a hit from Floette and then fight back. Literally fight back.
Yeah.
Because the steel types are gone too.
I guess my question is a little bit more specific about, like, if I was to, let's say I go to Baltimore, I play Charizard Floette, I go 4-4. Okay, great. Now I'm looking towards Louisville, and one of the new Megas is legal, and I want to play Absol Z, and I lift an Absol Z team from, a Victory Road event, and I'm working on adjusting it, EV spreads and items and movesets, etc. What is... I don't understand the best way to go about switching those EV spreads. Like I found a spread for the Charizard Floette team for all the Pokemon, and then I have not changed it. I've just been playing with it.
It's comfort, I would say. If you're often in situations where you expect to survive and you don't, adjust it. Add some extra bulk. Check the calcs. Why didn't you survive? Was it a bad roll? Is it a bad Pokemon? Do you not have the right support pieces around it? Absol Z is going to be an interesting case. So I also think that Lucario Z is going to be an interesting one as well. It depends on their abilities. But when something is broken, it's broken. I can kind of tie this to an example with Crown.
Okay.
When I first started out using Crown, I was actually using Choice Specs on it because I think Tola ran into one on ladder. I was using Booster Energy and Life Orb originally, and then Booster Energy, I was like, all right, it's just the best item. But we found Tola was showing me this Choice Specs thing where basically, like, if you have Terrain up, you can just Helping Hand delete everything, even like Assault Vest Pokemon. And it also has Volt Switch, so it like wasn't the most punishing Pokemon to be out of position. I could just get extra damage with Volt Switch, and it was pretty speedy too. So we just like made like this turbo fat Iron Crown with Choice Specs. And about a week before the tournament that we were going to, which is Charlotte 2024, we were worried about that. Basically, there's this Blood Moon Ursaluna team that came out. And it was like the most refined version of Blood Moon Ursaluna. Wellspring, Fluttermane, Blood Moon, Ursaluna, and it absolutely, we just couldn't beat it. I tried so many different things to beat it, and I was like sitting there wondering, and I'm like, all right, what is the problem? Why can I not beat this team? And I had to like practice it with my friends, and the conclusion, Toller and I were talking back and forth, like, is this doable? Like, can we just like ball out? Is there a way to get through it? And we both agreed. We were like, no, we need one more Protect on the team. And we were Terra Psychic, for the record, on the Iron Crown. And we swapped last second. I basically just like rallied everybody, and I was like, okay, guys, we can't do the choice specs. It's not good enough. Like, right now with this Blood Moon Ursaluna, like, we could probably have made this work if the Blood Moon Ursaluna team didn't come up, but it did. Tough luck. We fixed that matchup, and we played it a couple times. All of us did. And I think pretty much all of us at that tournament had like 65-70% win rate against it. And I actually lost to one, but it was because of a disconnect against a now banned player.
Rip.
Yeah. And anyway, the problem was that this happened so late into the game. Like, we were like so far into our prep cycle, and the meta shifted, but there was like a full month of that meta game before the first tournament. So that's like a thing that I took a mental note of. It's like, this is how much time I'm going to have to be able to turn something around in, is if this popularizes a meta game call like a week before a tournament. Sometimes you just get unlucky and you're like, oh, this is a bad metagame shift for my team, and there's just no time for me to fix it. I'm going to play my matchups and do my best. But I literally took that as like a wake-up call. I'm like, I'm going to be in situations where this is an important tournament that I'm investing money in. I have to be able to do this in a short turnaround. And I worked on that skill. And it took me time, and I'm not great at it, but now I have to test that theory out at the World Championships, because I kind of pivoted 10 days ago.
Woof.
Yeah. And part of it is not like, oh, I pivoted 100%. I didn't just switch teams. But it was mostly like I retooled a lot. And
Moved a couple slots.
Yeah, I basically took an archetype and went in a different direction with it. And it's tough. And it can be a confidence shaker, but I'm just going to have to go and do what I have to do. And maybe it works out, maybe it doesn't. But I've been in this situation before, and my experience in those situations has been, here's what I'm doing. Situationally, here's the EV spreads that work. These are this speed control is bad with this Pokemon. Blood Moon Ursaluna, I don't have enough defensive resilience in Trick Room to make it through 4 full turns. I could only really make it through 3. How could I make it through 4? If I have one more Protect, I actually think I can. With Tailwind, I need to be able to match several different Tailwind offensive pieces. So Whimsicott and Charizard, Whimsicott Floette, Whimsicott Basculegion, and then their endgame modes. How do I do that? Probably with a mishmash of like a bunch of different pieces that can effectively trade and maybe match that speed control. Counter the speed control, go for a Trick Room, go for my own Tailwind, or use defensive pieces that don't exist because we don't have Assault Vest. So yeah, one of my options was kind of eliminated, and I had to figure out, all right, I have to find a way to play their game or go the Trick Room route. I can't say exactly what I did, but I figured something good enough out. And the point is, it's a lot to do with the context and the situation that you're in.
Okay, I have another question kind of about your Iron Crown Ursaluna debacle. So, one thing in my experience in TCGs that is kind of a trap that people fall into is over prepping for one single matchup.
Mm-hmm.
What made you decide that this matchup was worth changing your whole strategy for?
Borderline psychic ESP, extrasensory perception. I swear I have like Doomer superpower. I am so good at identifying auto losses. That is like literally one of my best skills, is I know how badly this matchup can go by figuring out. I think it's my play style thing. the way that I do lab work is I try to figure out how to beat a team with the same exact play pattern every single time. And if I can't deviate, if I can only find one play pattern that like beats one thing, that's usually a standout weakness. And like if I'm trying like 17 different things and I'm losing to somebody that like I'm practicing with that is not at the same caliber of player as me, that also kind of is a dead giveaway. I'm like, all right, they're just doing the same sequence over and over, and I'm just losing to it. A great example of this in the past was actually same thing was the Iron Crown thing. We went, I forget what we had before we had Fluttermane. It wasn't Drago. I think it was Palma at some point. We were doing something really kind of cheesy, but that put that to the side for a second. We had Fluttermane in our last slot because we were also struggling with a very specific Fluttermane and Wellspring lead, where that's all they had to do. They could do this exact play pattern. It was also the most obvious thing that they could do. And basically what I was doing is I was practicing into people that didn't know all of the exact things that would break it, but even still I was losing. So like in the matchup I was practicing, we adjusted our EV so that we could always hold our Terra, go for a Dazzling Gleam, even if we were faster. If we were faster, we could do this. If we were slower, we would always live. And then we would rip Terra later in this exact sequence. And then we would test all the other ways that they would try and beat it. So your question, how do I not fall into the trap of like over prepping for one of the two or one or two matchups? There's so many layers to this. One, nobody knows how to team build, so everybody's ripping teams. Something new pops up, good luck, everybody's gonna pick it up. And there's been dozens of examples of this, and I've been part of the same exact trend. You know, like I imagine a lot of people couldn't figure out a team for Worlds this year, and they're running Big Six. They just said, I can't figure it out. This meta sucks. I'm going to run the best team. In Regulation H, there was the Dragon Knight, Ursaluna, Archaludon Rain team with Sinistra on it that everybody gravitated towards. I had an issue with that team. I prepped it, and I played 3 of them in the tournament that I went to. That happens. So when I say I'm psychic about this, it's because I am. I played against I was worried about playing against a Lycanroc sand team with Great Tusk, and I practiced it. We actually changed the EVs on our Talonflame for that tournament to be able to live Lycanroc Accelerock. That's how much bulk we had, because I'm like, I can't beat this if I play it in tournament. And my winning in for Orlando in 2023 was against Lycanroc. I'm psychic, I swear to God. And the person that I played was the person that I played on ladder. So damn. Yeah, it's just like I have a very sharp intuition, I think, for when something is like literally unbeatable. And I have ran into it so many times that like I'm pretty good about making sure I diagnose it and fix it. Same thing happened in Pittsburgh 2024. I was like, oh my God, this team sucks. We have to fix it. We fixed it, changed it, and then had to relearn all of our matchups, and I got top 16. But I still lost to one of the teams that I was worried about. And we labbed it. I just still got outplayed.
So for those of us that are not ESP blessed as yourself, what like for example, if I'm working on the Charizard Floette team, and something that cropped up was the Staraptor, Raichu, Hisuian Arcanine, Farigiraf, Sylveon, etc. team. Let's say that I spec really heavy into that. Is there anything to say like that's a good call, or is it just like if I see it on ladder or if I see it on Victory Road, like it's hard for me to decide when it is the right way to like not counter team, but change the EV spread or the move set for a specific team.
So there's a couple things. One, the other piece of this that I left out is that I'm not the only psychic. it's a skill that you get when you become a veteran. I think it's like just an experience thing. Somebody that I think that's amazing at this exact thing is Marcus Amon. He is so good at picking teams and so good at finding the worst possible matchups, and having like a lot of people. Like this is also a side effect of like when you work with people, you're gonna find like you can lab and you're all gonna ladder at the same time. You'd be like, "What are you doing to this?" And be like, "All right, well I would do this." And like, "Well, actually, that doesn't work." So you cover more ground. That's one thing. So friends help you. Two, the better you get, the more you can tell when it's not you and it's the team. The stronger you're going to get over time. You're going to be smart. Also, like, this is why I think like VOD review is so valuable. It's actually nice when you're like new at the game to not know that like something is an auto loss, because truthfully, you probably play a lot better when you aren't terrified of all the things that can go wrong. And that's kind of exactly how I feel about some things. Like, it's better to not know. Let me just run it this way and let me figure it out on the fly. And if something is so bad that like I feel like I can't improvise and figure it out on the fly, that's when I kind of tackle it. I'm like, all right, let's figure out exactly what goes wrong. And if there's a solution that I think is even unintuitive, or it's like I have to play it in a really unique way, I look for, like, you can do a lot to diagnose all this. I'm going to say, if this person leads this, I know that they know the matchup. If this person leads this and they don't make X play, they don't actually know the matchup. You know what I mean? There's going to be small things. Like, they can't do things that are wrong. Then I'm going to punish, and I'll look for kind of exploits like that. So, for example, that one thing that I just mentioned where I played basically that auto loss that I adjusted my team for, I played that matchup against somebody that did know what they were doing, and I found a way through it. Disconnect kind of messed me up. But it was slim margins because it was a really good player. It was somebody that constantly day 2 top 8'd. And I barely almost didn't come out in what was kind of like a evenish matchup, a little bit losing, that I had to navigate through. And they knew what they were doing. The next time that happened, the opponent didn't know, and I whooped them, and it was the same person, for the record, which is hilarious. But same person. It's just they were very much a I'm gonna run on this team when it's trendy kind of person.
Sure. Okay. Kind of along something you said. You said, okay, this matchup is hard. Let me get into it.
Mm-hmm.
What is the process of getting into it? Because that's something. So, one team that I was struggling versus as the Charizard Floette comp is the like mega setup with Sinistra, Incineroar. What's his name? Sneasler.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was trying to like write up like a short description of the matchup and try and find like the win condition late game and stuff like that. And it's something that I've pretty it's doesn't come obvious to me in this game. I've done it for other games, but in this one it's pretty strange. So what does that look like for you?
For me, it's like, well, I have an established network. I have Toller, I have Zach, I have Yotam. Sometimes I have Yotam. He's been busy lately. I also have, I'm a VGC Nepo baby, kind of. I have,
nice. So you just grab the homies and
literally
play some games on it?
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I do. I'm just like, can you help me with this matchup? And sometimes, but I mean, it's also bartering. It's an exchange. Like, being good at playing a lot of teams makes me valuable to spar with. So play me, set for a set, right? And then sometimes it's like, I'll give you 30 minutes or an hour, and then you give it back to me at some point. It's very much like that. But I mean, part of that's connections. That's why I said it was like, friends are broken in VGC. The better the friends that you make, the better. Having locals is great, but also we're very collaborative. I mean, I've practiced matchups with students before, just been like, can somebody throw this at me? Mm-hmm. Because like, I can evaluate your skill level, and I'll be like, all right, it's good to know this level, this matchup of Big Six at this level, that might be my round 1 or my round 2, not at Worlds, but at a regional.
Sure. And so when you're sparring with your friends, is this Like, what is your note? Do you take notes during the matches? What does the VOD review look like?
Oh,
Like stuff like this.
here. I mean, are you on Showdown right now? I'll show you exactly what it looks like.
I can be on Showdown in a moment's notice. Okay, I'm there.
Alrighty. Do you have a Big Six team?
I do.
Okay. Azazel the God, shoot me a challenge. Best of whatever. Like, send me as many games as you can.
Azazel? Is it the same way as your
Yep.
Discord?
Yep. Making me give away the real secrets. Homies are
Well, that's-
broken. Okay, best of 3. Like the herb. Hold on.
Yeah, basil.
Say hi.
Like the herb.
Say hi really quick. Oh my god, that's funny. That's so clever.
Thank you.
Can you type something in the chat so I can chat
I
you?
can. Hi.
Perfect. All right. They were just leaving that there for a second. Okay.
Okay.
Lead Whimsicott Zard with basket. Actually, lead Whims Bask with Charizard Garchomp in the back.
Okay.
Okay. Here's what we do. Do whatever play you want. Just throw something at me.
Okay.
Okay. Keep it up. Do whatever you want. Ooh, okay. That's unfortunate. Now what do I do? Crap. Oh my god, I crit you too. Let's go.
That's the ESP I keep hearing about.
Yeah. Ah, you lived. Crap.
Oh my god.
Boom. He's basing. The Aqua Jet was a mistake. So this is exactly what I do. At this point, forfeit.
Okay. Sure.
This is Accelerock. Okay, then I go through and I look for all the mistakes.
Okay.
Okay, Whimsicott. It's King Gambit turn 1. I didn't like it. I would live this double up anyway. It's not a great sucker punch. That's the first thing that stood out. Second thing, this Garchomp switch, very likely. I think this is a good play. This is like something that I would advise with my lab partner. Oh wait, hold on. Did I not confirm? Okay, here we go. Got to turn the timer off. Second thing I do is I confirm with my lab partners, kind of like, okay, yeah, this is sensible. This is something they would do. This makes sense. And for the record, what we're doing right now, this is what I call an organic set. I did give you things to lead, but I was just doing it for kind of like, let me test this game plan. I don't know this matchup like inside and out.
Sure.
But this is the starting point. I say, all right, what are you thinking makes the most sense intuitively? And then I'll do that with a lot of different people, especially for the most relevant teams where there's a lot of like interchangeability. And I'll test these kind of plans into pretty much everybody. And then they'll show me very often that that doesn't work into this combination or this combination. And I make small, subtle adjustments. But part of the adjustments is like when I see these, when I'm presented with these scenarios, I'm kind of making sure I'm evaluating how how I play, right? It's like sight reading in music. I recognize this threat, etc. here and here. The big play that I'll get to in a second is like towards the end. First off, this is the paralysis that changes the whole nature of the replay. I'm running this again up to this point and trying to recreate this to the best of my ability and trying again without the Dire Claw. Because
Sure.
and I call that re-racking. Wims comes in. I go for this. You're stomping Tantrum instead of Earthquake, so I'm drawing attention to the King Gambit. Plus, you want to get this Basque Legion going. This is a sensible play. I also don't care if you take my Sneasel here. If you do, I get to go into Frost last turn early on a better board anyway. And then I can just go Blizzard, Kowtow. Instead, what happens is I forgot that my calc on this side was looking at not max bulk or a bulky Garchomp with Citrus.
Okay.
It was looking at regular Garchomp, so I ate this damage for no reason. And that was bad because now my King Gambit is not in a good position. Now I have Sucker Punch. I made a mistake here. I should have gone for Auroraville. Should have gone Sucker and Auroraville into your Garchomp. Because then King Gambit gets taken off the board. And I have Fake Out Pressure to get through the next turn. And you wouldn't have two knocked out Pokemon for Last Respects, which means I'm pretty sure this Frostlass lives. One powered up Last Respects with Auroraville. Does it? Can I control how much base power it is? I think it's showing me at one. Yeah, it does live. It lives with Auroraville. So I would have Fake Out Pressure and Auroraville so I could reversal you on the Shadow Ball. Either you're protecting on the Shadow Ball or I Fake Out. And I'm like going through it. I'm like, all right, this is a mistake. This is a mistake. Now, let's get to this turn. This turn is where you made a mistake. And I would tell my lab partner, you have to Last Respects here. Part of why you have Charizard on the board, I can make a pretty safe prediction that your Charizard's coming out here. But you are forced almost to Last Respects here. Because if you don't, you lose to Lycanroc in the end game because you're making this switch. If you're going to Aqua Jet, you have to Heat Wave. And in that case, you're still going to get shot. Like, if I protect, you Heat Wave, I Accelerock, I take out the Zard, at least you got the chip on the Lycanroc. Wims comes back in. You can Encore the Frostlass before the Lycanroc gets to do anything, and the Aqua Jet will kill the Lycanroc. So you create the situation for the next board. Sneasler comes back in, it doesn't matter, because you will...
it's walled by Basque Legion.
Yep, exactly. So you can make the read, too, that like they protect, swap Sneasler in, and then you go for Last Respects, protect with the Whimsicott or something, because then you're going to get through the Frostlass. So it's a dangerous swap for them anyway. Frostlass comes back in. You have it'll be the last turn of Tailwind. You can Aqua Jet, I Fake Out, whatever. Sneasler loses to Basque Legion in the end game, and you calculate all this out. And then I'm like, all right, it's tic-tac-toe, right? In some ways, like it's just this happens, this happens, this happens. So I did this play, this Shadow Ball. This wasn't a read. This was me saying, ain't no way he knows all this. I dare you. And that's why I made that play. And I'm like, all right, I can just kind of work my way back into this game. If you did know the last respects pin and you did it, I would have been like, oh, sick. That's exactly how that goes wrong. Let's see if I can avoid that in the next game. And where I avoid it is with this King Gambit early in the early game. It's probably going for the Kowtow Cleave earlier. Make sense?
Does.
Then I do it again. And we do it again. And we do it again. Over and over and over.
Sure. So I guess my question is, so let's say we play that game and you explain all that, and then we play again.
Mm-hmm.
Are you asking your training partner, lead Basket Legion Whimsicott again?
Yep, sometimes.
Or, okay.
Yeah, set or organic. You can static or dynamic, like whatever you want to call it. But I just say play organically, however you want. Sometimes I'll be like reset, like play like we don't know anything about the matchup, or like how you like you're new to the game. And honestly, not everybody's good at doing that. In fact, I think that like pretty much everybody picks up subconscious biases. There's a lot of reads that stick out. It's hard to like eliminate matchup information from your brain. So that's why it's nice to have people that rotate in and out, aka friends broken. And then also, I think it's really valuable sometimes to just be like, all right, I think we're playing against each other. We're playing the player rather than the matchup. Reset it, take the notes that you can. And part of the skill in this is understanding where your opponent is going to be doing things that are matchup dependent or player dependent, and then kind of parsing it all out. But you can also just do the exact same sequences over and over and try and find like the absolute optimum play. Very often in Pokemon, there isn't really a perfect optimal play, but there's like a really, really good play that you can make that like beats all these things, or like it's half of, it covers like one thing that you didn't expect the opponent to do or whatever, etc. So, but sometimes towards the end game, there really are checkmates and you really want to find them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think another question that I have about this process is, I think what is a skill that I think I've been trying to develop and I think is tricky is team preview.
Yeah.
So let's say I wanted to prepare Charizard Floette versus Scoville and what's it called?
Yep.
What's his name? Frostlass.
Yep.
How does that look for you?
The main thing is you got to figure out if you can eliminate team preview entirely.
Tell me about that.
Well, if there's something that works that your opponent can't beat over and over and over, no matter what you do. So, for example, the main example I always give is if you have Hyphlosion and your opponent has 4 grass types, always lead the Hyphlosion.
Right. Okay. Sure.
No reason not to.
Good.
Against the students team, always lead the Floette. They can't deal with it because there's no fairy resist, and you can always do the sequence of Tailwind, Protect, Whimsicott then has Moonblast with Fairy Aura, and Floette outspeeds everything. You have Encore Pressure. Bing, 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 everything's gone. So literally, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I wonder if I can find one of these. You can still see my screen, right?
I can.
Let's see if I can find...
The Church of Tusk.
Yep. This is 24. What about 2023? It's still 2024. 2023? Nope. Hold on.
Well, any of these documents, I don't know how much you want to share on stream, but these would all interested in what this note-taking process is kind of like.
I'm finding one. Hold on, I'm gonna.
Sure. You're a very religious fella.
No, I'm not. It's actually mostly a joke.
Yeah.
I was like, do you guys need to join the church? Okay, hold on. It's not really this one yet. This wasn't a good one. Did I do one for this? Ah, here we go. Yeah, here we go. This is my old one. These were all the teams in Regulation C. I built this kind of bad Dreadnought team, but these were my leads. I always led this if I played this team. I always led this if I played this team. Here it shows a flex option for a lead, and then I also have flex option here for these two. Flex option for the back. But here's my plan, and the plans adjust basically around these skeletons. I leave little notes for myself in some cases. Sometimes I'm really thorough, sometimes I'm not. In this case, I really wanted to make this crappy team work. It was cool. Brought it to a local. It did well at it with a local. Got top 4, but then I got top 8 and another one. But I couldn't like get it over the finish line. That's when I really knew. I was like, dang, it's not good enough. And I pulled a bunch of bad matchups. I couldn't fight through them. It was really tough. So bad team, but I still did all this work for it. And this is how I did it. I did this for Tusk too, like back when I did great Tusk Talonflame stuff.
And so let's go to the like very first one, priority span. What brings you to Dreadnought and DD lead? Not like, and not this specific example, but like, how did you get to this point?
They can't lead anything into the Ndidi that would take it out with my specific Terra type into this team, so I could set Trick Room and then click Helping Hand Rock Slide. And then I would also sometimes do Ndidi with Fluttermane, because if they do try to really counter this lead, they would fall prey to Follow Me, Terra Fairy, Dazzling Gleam. Like, they have nothing on this team for that. Like, the Arcanine is one of their most attractive brings into the Fluttermane, but defensively, it doesn't do enough. Because, and it's also difficult to bring into Rain. I would just have the Rain mode in the back. Or I would have Great Tusk in the back. And basically the whole idea is, like, get rid of their one speed control piece, which is Iron Bundle, and then pretty much with Ndidi, Great Tusk, or Rain in the back, I won. Sometimes I'd have to go a little bit harder on the Kingambit, and then I would bring Iron Hands. But this team was a really good matchup for me. My team was actually almost kind of designed to be able to beat this. I didn't have any problems with people that played this. It was actually very specifically Chi-Yu Flutter that was a pain, and Dozo teams were also really annoying. But I kind of sacked those because they weren't that common at the moment.
Okay, so let's talk about, like, if one of those annoying matchups. What was your process with that?
Well, most of the time I'm trying to beat things in the builder.
Okay.
My team, if I bring a team to a tournament that can't navigate these matchups, I failed. And that, honestly, it happens, but it's almost rare that I ever can't cover at least 90% of the things that I'm playing. Like, once in a while you run into just a bad matchup, like, oh my god, I can't believe that was that bad. But I'll kind of know, and it's almost never not something that I don't know is really, really bad. Life Orb Chien-Pao, for one, is an example. Like, before I went to UIC in the tournament right before this one, I knew that I had like nothing for Life Orb Chien-Pao, but it was not common. In fact, I think at that EUIC there were 6 of them in the entire tournament, and I played 4 of them. And I beat 2 of them. 2 of them I lost to.
Well, let's go.
Yeah. But it was like such a bad matchup. And it depends on the level of player too. Sometimes you have to like run into somebody that knows how to really use it. Somebody in the chat earlier actually said something. They made a really good point. And what they said, this was... Is it correct to say you don't really have to take bad matchups in VGC very often? Because in TCGs, it's very common to have borderline unfixable matchups. I agree, yes. You don't have to take unwinnable matchups, because I think that part of the nature of the Bring 6, Pick 4 of VGC keeps that from happening. Same thing kind of in Magic, like where you have a side deck. It kind of functions similarly. I don't know if you play Magic at all.
Baby game for babies, unfortunately.
Oh, okay. Shots fired. We have Magic players in the server. Be careful. You hear
I'm
that?
sure they're really nice people.
No, they're probably great. Actually, they are. Toller also plays Magic, but I think he's like a commander shill.
Yeah, it's a for fun game. Not interested.
From what I've heard on like Twitter and common sentiment is like they accidentally invented like a really fun casual mode for Magic, and
Yeah,
now that's
yeah.
all people want to play because it's so fun.
True. Yeah,
Yeah, that's sad.
and I'm happy for everyone that plays Commander. But anyhow, okie dokie. Well, I gotta bounce.
Do you have any questions?
Thanks for. I do have a trillion, but it'll
Write
have
them
to
down.
be for another hour. I will write them down.
Yeah, you can write them down. Also, you can send them to me too. You just be like, "Can I pick your brain for a bit?" You don't have to just do a full session for this stuff. You can also
Okay.
hop into the chat next time I do one of these streams. Ask me questions. I try to make people need me less and less. Truthfully, I'm trying to planned obsolescence myself.
Oh man. All right. Right on.
But if you want to do a session,
Cool.
I'll do a
Good.
session. Just let me know.
I will. Thank you for everything, and good luck at Worlds.
Thank you so much, man. Take care. It was a pleasure.
All right. Peace.
All right, guys, that's it. We've done it. Another coaching extravaganza. A lot less coaching this time, partially because I announced it very, very late. Sorry, procrastinated. But next time I'll do better planning on that. And yeah, my brain has been in Worlds mode. So, and then Maple Story Classic comes out in October. So I'm gonna be done probably playing Pokemon forever. I'm gonna become a Maple Story YouTuber. We'll see. But thank you so much for everybody that tuned in. I will try to maybe do like a post Worlds celebration. Hopefully celebration. We'll see. And I really appreciate everybody that comes by. I love doing these, and I had a great time. Appreciate your questions. Enjoy the World Championships streams. Enjoy all of the fun. I'll see some of you there, I'm sure. And yeah, thank you so much for your support. I'll see you around.